Dogs don't deserve sausages. I think sausages is a people thing only.
No.
Is the auto going? Okay.
Why would you say that?
Huh?
The dogs don't deserve.
Because they're not gonna appreciate that it's a sausage.
It wasn't
a sandwich for a dog.
It's not like a dog sausage. It was like, imagine like dog food or like a dog treat. I think it was dog food, but we gave it to the dog as a treat because the dog wasn't worth that expensive.
Just extruded into
Hey, we're on the
a-
podcast
a
right now. What are you doing over there?
form.
Podcast.
It started.
What?
Oh, you pick up the mic so people can hear what you're watching, Kevin.
I'm watching Peter's Plane Train.
Okay, so we had this dog sausage. It's like, imagine like dog food, but you get it like wet and you compress it into a tube. It was like kind of like nicer version of dog food that you like cut, I guess. I don't really know.
Oh yeah, that's fancy.
It just sounds like a sausage.
Fancy.
We would give it to the dog as like a treat. And so my grandma was watching us one time and one day basically said that the sausage in the fridge is really gross. And I was like, what sausage in the fridge?
I bet she thought it was like liverwurst. I guarantee that she thought it was like
she's like this
something
old
was like-
Swedish
yeah.
woman and they love that just like, organ meat product.
Oh, a spider.
Spider!
That's okay.
He's limping.
That'll eat the
Somebody
bad
must have
things in
stepped
here.
on it.
Oops.
That's
I actually
okay.
thought he was
I
dead.
think.
Do we need to introduce our guest today? Does this person need an
Yes.
introduction?
Our guest today needs no introduction. The Safety Third podcast is back.
Introduce me, please.
This is Uncle Roger, well known for his culinary accent. that
Also
he
known
has.
as Nigel. That's his real name, Uncle Roger.
People,
Is it? Yeah.
people kept asking for Nigel, so we had Nigel on last week. But then people said it was the wrong Nigel, so we had to look again for other Nigels.
And I made it.
I
Found you.
hope to God this is the right one.
I mean,
We convinced Nigel to fly all the way from home to here.
where do I live?
Do you say where
I
you
don't
live?
want to dox you, but
Yeah, yeah,
Canada.
yeah.
Montreal?
Okay, for a second I thought you didn't know.
No, I know where you live. I just
Costa Rica.
Montreal.
Yeah, yeah.
All the
Also,
way from we forced you to fly
Buenos
all the way from
Aires.
where you live to here.
We're trying not to dox you.
I just
Yeah.
don't know if you say what city. I mean,
many-
you're
Montreal, I say that. Yeah.
Montreal,
I just
okay.
don't say like
People know.
where in Montreal.
I say LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like same as me. It's like if I even lived outside of Montreal,
Yeah.
I would still say that.
But now you're in LA.
Yes.
Did you actually come out here just for this?
Yeah.
I'm here one day.
That's
Wow.
VIP guest.
The
I flew
100th
all the way here.
podcast.
We had a whole
I had
conversation.
to.
We were trying to figure out when to book his return because it was so last minute that
Mhm.
the only return that was nonstop was like tomorrow.
No,
morning.
it's every day, but
Oh.
it's always 8 a.m.
But you're almost done with a video that should have been done like a week ago, and so you.
Oh, the
couldn't.
video, yeah, was supposed to be done like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
classic.
So it's like the final equipment.
This one isn't. It's not his fault though. He told me the story.
Yeah. Well, it's partly his fault.
Wait, are you allowed to say the story? Can we
Yeah,
hear
you
the
can say what it
story?
is. The video will be out by then.
Right? One
But
week.
isn't this
right?
coming out like?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
No, this
technically-
podcast was recorded the morning that they go out.
Yeah, this was recorded whenever you watched it at viewers at home.
Today's date is March.
You're gonna just open your mouth
7th.
and we're gonna fill it in later of the day.
Today is
Today
March.
is March.
Or maybe it's March 14th.
March 21st.
I think it is actually gonna be 2 weeks because we have Uncle Roger. We have Nigel and then Nigel.
Wait, I thought this was coming out this week. That's why I rushed
We
down.
can swap it. We can swap it
Could've just
around.
come down in like a week.
No, it could go.
literally-
It would go
yeah,
out.
we
Actually,
could
no,
swap
it'll-
it around.
No, it will go out this week.
Because it's supposed to be the 100th.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh
'cause-
my God! It's the 100th.
Oh, it's the 100th episode.
we did
That's right. Not like that fake 100th episode that we were like,
Yeah, I saw
we're,
that.
we're only gonna publish this if there's an emergency, and then
But-
the audio got fucked up on the other episode we filmed. So I was like, here's
But
an emergency.
in that video, Alan, you said this is the 100th, but the video says it's the 99th. You didn't even put like a fake audio over it. It just says this is the 100th.
because the plan was that we had recorded 99. We're like, okay, the 100th episode we're gonna save.
It's like-
for
yeah.
whenever we need.
It's the
like, a-
emergency.
Exactly, but then episode 99 actually got all fucked up because it got recorded. It was in a van.
Dude, we
so-
put
Yeah.
all this effort. Like we literally, we were
Dude.
on this 6-hour road trip, and we stopped. We before we left the big city we were leaving, we go to an electronics store and spend like $150 New Zealand on like equipment. Like we bought an inverter, a bunch of zip ties, tape,
Yep.
blah, blah. And we built this whole super shitty set inside of the van we rented. Like we rented a van specifically to film a podcast.
And you film
in
it while you're moving?
Yeah, while
Yeah.
we're driving.
It looked really cool.
Because we didn't have any time. And it's like, well, if we're going to sit 6 hours in a car, we might as well record a podcast. And the audio on your audio is completely messed
my
up.
fucking mic was fucked up. Or
It's like the
something. Is this mic
connector, it was
okay?
loose.
Are we good
Oh,
for
I guess
this
you-
one? Okay.
You guys
thank
just didn't have like someone there listening.
No, well, because Ian was driving.
Yeah.
He could have been listening.
He did.
Oh,
He had the audio on, but like we could hear the audio because he wasn't wearing headphones, and it was like really weird. So he turned it off.
So
It was working,
So then
and he verified it was working, and then he turned it off, and then it stopped
Damn.
working.
it's like, even the editor was like, it's too bad for a podcast.
It's too bad
Yeah.
for your podcast.
Yeah, like the bar is low, but I think it was just like
And the plan was we were holding on to that. Like I thought we were gonna have it for like 2 months. Like I thought like, oh, like open source is gonna make things so busy. We're probably gonna have to miss a week, but
Bust
we'll
it
have
out.
this like up our sleeve. And then literally immediately had to be used.
you know what? You know when you just laugh, like someone says something bad, and all you can do is laugh because it's like so stupid. Like all the effort, all the time, the fact that it was supposed to be like a saved extra thing.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
put it out
And it's
next.
like, nope, it's just it's just.
But this is a
huge waste of
better.
time.
This is a much better episode 100, anyways.
Right.
Welcome back, Nigel.
Welcome.
Thank you. I want to say something about your episode 99 because I watched it,
oh God.
right? And the whole episode, you talked.
He was the person who was making mad.
Yeah, I actually felt like the audience. No, but it was more that you got. It was at the end, Alan, with you. You're like, we need. I think you're saying something like, we need somebody who knows biology and chemistry. And I thought it was funny because my degree is biochemistry.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, if I was there, I could have helped you guys.
Well, okay then, Nigel.
Yeah.
What is the answer to the? I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Wait, I have a question. I feel like you're one of the few people that can objectively answer it. Is this podcast good?
Yes, person who
That's
left.
a good. That's a good question.
Yes, person who left. Is it good?
Because if somebody asked me if the podcast was good, I don't think I would say yes. I don't know.
I would say overall it's good.
Oh my
Yeah. Woo.
I laugh.
That overall
I've
is
had
doing a lot of heavy lifting.
No, like I would like when I'm working the lab or doing stuff, I listen to it, and there have been a few that were like really funny. I forget which ones.
There we go. That's a
That's how you know it's
Overall,
good.
there were a few that were really funny. Don't forget
Name
which
a
ones.
podcast.
No, I saw the one with Kyle Hill.
Okay.
Oh,
that was a
pops in
good
my head. I
one.
saw the one with Stephanie.
Yeah.
These are like the recent ones, right?
The New Zealand one.
I saw the New Zealand one with the ostrich egg.
yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm
Yeah.
dropping that to prove that I saw it.
Nice.
And
Okay,
I
you're
dropped,
a real
I dropped the
viewer.
egg.
I watch it. Yeah, that's why I was when you guys kept talking about the biochemistry stuff, and I'm like, it made me feel. It was very clear I was no longer there. Right? You forgot I even
Raging.
existed.
You're like.
You didn't even say we should reach out to Nigel.
It doesn't matter though, because you're.
We did though. And we had a question on for the Patreon
That's
extra.
true,
We
that's
called you.
true.
We could never mention you ever again, and your ghost still haunts the podcast forever. It never ends. People, they got a taste of you on this podcast, and they refuse to forget.
I don't even want to show you in it. I feel like we should just blur you. I don't want to give them what they want. We should just like blur you the whole time.
I feel like it reminds me a bit like on TikTok.
Cover with a sheet.
I'll do that. Just
Special guest is a ghost.
The ghost of Nigel.
a couple years ago, I posted a video on TikTok where I made a gold solution and then I dropped it,
Yes.
and that
Oh,
has
yeah.
haunted my TikTok.
Well, it became
I
such a big. It's like a
It's people
What happened
still
to the gold,
comment it.
Nigel? What happened to the gold?
And then I
Where's the
posted
gold?
a video showing what happened. I still get
It
the
doesn't
no.
matter. There are
See it.
still TikToks where like the recommended search is NileRed gold spilling
Yeah.
incident. Like
Yeah.
it's so much of a thing that it's become like
And
the
it-
autocomplete that
I-
like TikTok ads.
I thought was you see the comment like years later, someone's like, I'm still mad about the gold, and then you get someone. I see a comment. The guy goes, "Wait, I don't understand what happened with the gold."
Yeah, wow.
and then people fill them in. And
It's like a disease.
the guy's like, "Oh yeah, that's bad."
It doesn't matter. That's what I love about the internet. It doesn't matter how many videos you post saying what you did with it. It still will forever exist.
It's on. I don't know. Maybe it's gone now. I feel like it's on every video.
yeah.
I still haven't forgotten
We need
about
that.
the calls.
We haven't been able to. I feel like I would love if it was the dog peanut butter thing, but we can't force it, you know. And the fact that I've even said it out loud now means that's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
because you had that whole episode where you weren't saying what it was.
Well, we're still not.
You just said it.
The dog peanut butter.
Dog peanut butter.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
know.
See, he wasn't here, so he doesn't know.
Yeah,
No, no.
yeah.
I thought you didn't.
It could be anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's anything you can
I
imagine
thought you
doing
didn't
with a
s-
dog
I-
and a jar of peanut butter.
Giving it medicine,
training it.
training it.
Yeah. Obedience.
Hiding a pill.
Those are the two things.
Hiding a pill.
Yeah.
I heard, you give a dog, if you want to give your dog a
that's
bath,
pretty
you
much
smear
it,
peanut butter
but
on like the
we don't
the
really
wall
have
in the bathtub.
like
You could probably
in
get
the
the dog,
shower,
if you,
and
if
it'll
you
just
got,
like sit
like,
there
if
and
you're
lick
making
the
too much
water.
actually a
peanut butter
thing?
in your fingers,
Apparently.
get the dog to clean it off.
That's not what I use it for.
Honestly, there should. It's. Do you remember the Flintstones? How all the dinosaurs had like little
I use it for
jobs that
pills.
were like machines.
Yes.
For yourself.
I would
Yeah.
really like it if.
Oh, we're doing the
Have
thing,
you ever
Nigel.
gone to the bathroom and just wished that instead of a hand dryer there was a dog to lick your hands dry?
Yes.
Every time, actually.
To make my hands moist.
You said your stomach hurt, Nigel. Can we hear more about that?
Yeah, I missed that.
I guarantee at least one doctor listens to this, and they might be able to diagnose
Okay,
you.
so
Yeah.
I think I just ate bad prosciutto on the plane.
All right, everyone, anyone
it.
right now who uses an AI chatbot, Google Nigel symptoms and leave a comment saying what his diagnosis is.
Yeah, what are your symptoms?
What are your symptoms?
It just hurt. My stomach just hurts.
That's it.
Like right now,
what led
your
up
stomach-
to it?
I think I ate bad prosciutto on the plane. I was literally fine.
Wait, what kind of a plane has prosciutto as a meal?
I
Wait,
am
what
worried
kind of
about
plane has
this.
meals? You bought a meal on an airplane, didn't you, Mr. Moneybags?
First class,
So what happened was normally I buy snacks beforehand, right?
$40 Lunchable.
Oh, wow.
So and then when I was on the plane, like halfway through, I'm like, wait a second, I have no food. And then I was like, wait, but I'm gonna be landing in a few hours. And my original plan was to get Taco Bell. I'm like, I need space for Taco Bell. And I was like, so I'll eat like something small. So I'll just get like, whatever. They had like a charcuterie thing. And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
okay, I'll
nice.
get that. It's light. I was fine. But then the moment the plane landed, I just got like a pain in my stomach.
I feel
And
like
then at your place, I left and I was just lying. I was sitting in bed and it was just, my
really?
pain was just, my stomach was just hurting.
Do you have like an
Cancer?
ulcer?
I feel like it takes a lot. Like if you eat something that's bad, it takes longer than like 2
Oh, I
hours
was
for
just
it to
gonna
hurt your
cancer.
stomach.
It's
What
good.
happened
It was
to the
like
night of
right?
cancer
3 or 4
day?
hours.
Yeah.
It's within the range of like,
Me, it's usually like 12 hours later.
I think
Food
it's
poisoning?
anywhere between like a couple hours
like,
to
I
like
eat something-
24 hours.
If
Yeah.
it's more than half a day, it's probably not food poisoning.
I think it is if it's longer than a half a day. I think if it's instant, it's like
if it's instant, it's definitely something else. Normally,
it was
food
a few
poisoning hits me in
hours.
like 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah. But it wasn't like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't.
there's
And
another
then-
spider.
And then you're like,
That's the second one.
Wait, that's a different
That's
spider.
a
Yeah,
different
it
one.
is
Wait,
a
where'd
different
I forgot about the big one. Where'd
Right.
that one go?
And he's black and
How
he's
did
like,
we just clean
he's
this
hidden
place?
here.
How is? I mean, I
there
guess
it is.
spiders. Maybe it's because there's so few bugs in here. The
He's just-
spiders are
he's-
starving.
that
and
one's
now
just
they're
actually
walking
just dead.
around.
maybe he's just
Oh.
playing, he's playing dead
Nice.
maybe.
Well, yeah.
My-
What happened with your video, Nigel? Why are
tell
you
us.
not publishing
give a
a video?
preview for.
So
Yeah.
I
We should hide this behind a
I-
paywall, damn it.
I'm
This
too-
entire thing
no,
should
no,
be
no, no.
paywall. The Nigel podcast.
I actually
should
don't.
Be
I
paywalled.
don't want to say. I will keep my details limited.
Okay.
Okay. All
The
right.
long story short, I was trying to buy a machine.
Oh, more detail than that.
No,
You're blue balling them.
Well,
Yeah,
let's hear more about the
Okay.
machine. Maybe
I
you'll
don't-
give hints
I
as to
don't
what the
want to
machine does.
say-
You think what you're about to say right now is gonna make them not watch your video when it comes out?
no. I don't want to put negative energy out in
Okay,
the world
okay.
about my machine.
I mean, honestly, even
Okay.
if it did, though, that means like what 50,000 people don't watch one of your videos, and that's kind of like not
I
actually
wouldn't even notice.
not actually. Yeah, for your videos, I don't know if you would actually even see a difference.
It was like the one time I was driving and there was frogs all over the road. It's like you could barely even tell.
It was like, what's 10 million minus 50,000?
I actually don't even know. That's how small it is.
So I'll just say, long story short, it's kind of like everything that went wrong to get. I wanted to have a video done
Yeah.
in February, so
Yes.
I was like, oh, I have time. I want to buy a machine. It was like first week of January, and it's within their lead time and everything. Like I can do this, but then like everything went wrong between like just the actual plans of the machine, getting it all done, and then FedEx. Like even once it was done, FedEx just screwed me over.
Like there was a chance you were going to get it in time, right? And then FedEx.
I was still not going to get it It was already delayed.
Okay.
Yeah, it was already delayed.
I got boned by FedEx too the other day. Overnight from SoCal to here, and it took 2 days.
They
Like,
scheduled.
literally every single time I've used FedEx, I've had a
just
problem
bad.
with it.
It's either good or terrible.
I've never had
I'm
good.
fed
Oh,
up.
sorry. Acceptable. It's either acceptable or terrible.
If FedEx
Overall,
is watching
it's
this,
pretty good.
So you've had good experiences? I feel like it's different for everybody.
So you're telling me that they like just didn't deliver it when they were supposed to?
Well, like I said, everything that went wrong just kind of went wrong. So it's like finally they're shipping it out.
Yeah.
They go, we schedule the pickup time Friday.
It's a U.S. company.
Yeah, it's a
So
US
it has to
company.
go international.
But they're like,
Mhm.
we'll pay for Saturday shipping. You can get it tomorrow. So she's like, it's scheduled. And then FedEx just never showed up. And FedEx was like, oops. So then they're like, okay, we'll get FedEx to come Monday. So FedEx does. They pick it up on Monday. And then the salesperson sends me a number that's like an internal number. And they're like, until FedEx properly like ships it, they don't give a tracking. But she's like, it should arrive in like a couple hours. It just like wouldn't show up. And she kept pestering the company, FedEx. And it was only after like a few days. She's like, okay, I talked to my broker. The U.S. Customs randomly selected it for further inspection. And
It's like nothing. It's not even a machine. It's literally just like a mechanical thing.
it's like a nothing. And then
You could buy it at Harbor Freight, basically.
yeah, it spent 3 days in U.S. Customs, but because it was on Monday, they only shipped it on Thursday.
What do they do? They open the box
I
and
don't
they're
even
like,
know.
I don't know what this says, and they close it.
They look at it and they were like, we're demanding extra information from the company to prove its purpose. I don't know. So they finally got it released on Thursday, and because it was overnighted, FedEx shipped it and it was potentially out for delivery on Friday. But then it doesn't get delivered, and I feared that would happen. And I call FedEx and they're like, "Oh, you never sent us your broker information." I'm like, "You overnighted it." They're like, "Yeah, but you never sent it to us." I'm like, "Why didn't you ask?"
Yeah.
I've never
And
even
they're
heard of
like-
that. You need broker information?
Because it's in Canada. So
Montreal specifically.
So you have to like FedEx to deliver it. They have to do the customs brokerage
Yeah.
before,
Mhm.
but it's an overnighted thing. And for the packages that take like a week, they normally call me. But for this one, they never called, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you never gave us permission." So what was even dumber is I filled out an entire form giving them permission, and in the email they replied, "Oh, you've already filled out this form. We should have just okayed it." And I'm like, okay. And they're like, "Yeah, but it's Friday, so you missed it. It'll be delivered Monday, hopefully." I'm like,
Hopefully.
You've dealt with customs a lot more than I think, because you buy a lot of weird stuff from China for your
yeah,
videos.
it's pretty.
I looked into it like a couple months ago
Mhm.
because I wanted to buy something that is just like kind of expensive here,
Yeah,
and I thought
you
it'd
get
be a
really
fun,
good deals from China.
It's like actually.
I usually
insane.
it's like 10. No, it's like sometimes the things are like 10% the price.
yeah, or you just straight up can't even get it here,
Yeah,
like a magnet making machine.
yeah.
Yeah, just as an example. Just throwing it out
A
there.
hypothetical.
And I actually still don't understand how it works. I called a
Kevin and I were talking about this today.
I called a port, one of the ports.
Bill of lading.
And I said,
the first.
I'm like, who do I talk to? And they're like, you should just talk to a broker. And I'm like, the port, like this is a government agency
Mhm.
that is funded by like my tax dollars. I called the customs there.
Mhm.
They told me to go and talk to a private entity.
So
And I
no,
was
no.
like, wait. Like, I'm pretty sure you should be giving me some pointers right now into how to actually do this. And
There are no instructions.
I'm going to
anywhere.
make this your problem when my
It's-
magnet machine shows up at the
Yeah.
port. And
it's like, I don't even actually understand. So like you have to, if you buy something in China, shipping, by the way, is fucking amazing. Like if you buy something in China and it shows up at your door, is actually
It's a miracle.
a miracle. Like if you look at the process of doing it, so you have a ship
Mhm.
and the ship has containers and the ship like owns the containers generally. I figured this out.
But it's like everyone's like,
but then it's like, well, if the ship owns the containers, like Masaryk or however you
yeah,
say
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how do you put stuff in a container? Well, they don't just open a container and let random people put stuff
No.
in. You have to have somebody who owns the contents of a container. But what if you don't want to ship the entirety of a container? Then you have to find someone
Yes.
who buys the entirety of the container, and then
then
they
rent-
do
yeah.
the piecemealing where they take stuff from people.
yeah,
And then when that gets here, they have to have somebody on the receiving
like a
side.
warehouse.
Yes.
So they bring it to warehouse. They dump everything
Yeah.
out. They bring the container. I don't know exactly. And then they
It
ship it out from
is
there.
insane how
Yeah.
complicated it is. Where you literally have to have people in the country of origin
both countries
and the destination country in order to like.
And they have to have perfect records. This goes to this person. They're using this shipping service. Like,
And you can still get like DHL shipping for like $5, like
Yeah.
dollars.
yeah,
I think it literally
DHL
only
is
works
it's
because
like
of
God tier shipping
it's
service.
like a bunch of broad agreements and treaties between
Yeah.
the countries. And I think that's the only reason any of it works.
The actual miracle is that for like less than $2, there is a stamp that will make an envelope go from here to goddamn anywhere in the world. Like actually, it's like
the fact that
Yeah, like
they
forever
don't
stamp.
global stamp or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the fact
it's
that
a big
things just
round one.
don't get lost.
Yeah.
They do. The things
Yeah.
do get lost, but like the fact that most things don't get lost. Like when you
It's a
just ship
miracle.
something, because I've had to ship. I think something a while ago we shipped something to like. I mean, I've shipped things for merch and stuff to like Brazil, the Middle East, and other stuff. And one guy gave us an address that my mom was like, "We cannot use this," because my mom was handling the shipping. The guy's address was literally the red building near he's like across the it literally was a description of it's like I think he's like the red building near this bank and this street. Mom was like, they don't accept that as an address.
What country was it? Maybe they do.
yeah, maybe they would have tried. You
My
know,
mom's
I
like,
think,
we need like an address.
Maybe.
We can't have a description of your building.
I mean,
Dude, I have a feeling that might actually be how it is.
but there are
when you get
there
down
are
to that.
places like in India and other stuff.
Yeah, where they just like
I
build a
think
building
it's,
and
like,
there's no actual
there isn't a
address.
street address, and it does get to the point where as long as it gets to like the
local
the equivalent zip code,
Yeah.
there is somebody who knows what you're talking about.
Okay, how much money do you think it cost to send a letter to any country in the world?
to any country.
I could write a letter right now, put it in an envelope,
North Korea.
put a stamp on it. I actually have no idea.
I
mean, you
it's
said-
gotta be like a couple bucks.
like
I
$2,
mean-
you said, right?
$1.55.
$1.55. I mean,
Wow.
that's a. There's no. $1.55. What does $1.55 get you right now? Like
A
in
chocolate
any
bar.
other context? Not even, dude. You can't buy a chocolate bar for $1.55 right now.
How much is
Can
a
of Coke.
Feastables?
Almost.
$2.
A very small piece
maybe?
of toilet paper.
$1.55 to send a piece of paper anywhere in the world is
Except
actually
maybe North Korea.
Except maybe North Korea.
That's insane, right? Like
How much do you think it actually costs? Do you think that like other things are subsidizing that service?
This is
I know
exactly
that there
like
is
the reason why it's so dumb when people are like, oh, privatize the post office and run it like a business. It's like that would cost you like $1,000 if you did that.
yeah, when we did the Mr. Beast thing with the circuit board badges, like that was a realization of when shipping works well, it's a miracle because there's certain things that you literally can't. The shipping services like can't do it, and it's getting something guaranteed in like a day.
Yeah.
But I mean, you made like an ad hoc courier service for yourself
Yeah.
for parts of
They
that
like
project.
you can literally hire people to do this.
Yeah.
Like this is like any shipping service. We looked into it. I think we spent like a full day panicking trying to find a courier that would be like, how do we deliver on Saturday overnight? And there was some like UPS or FedEx thing, or it was some like Saturday Red or something where it had like a
For, like,
literally
organ
a dedicated
transplants or
truck.
something.
Yeah, like actually like a dedicated truck would go from the hub to its destination, and even that
Because it
couldn't
can crash
do
or
it.
something.
Well, I don't know. It's like you're basically mobilizing a non-normal
I think-
route.
Just remind me, I think like the most painful thing is when you get something on UPS or like FedEx and then the status updates and it says like train derailment.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Does
no,
that
it's a
happen?
thing. It'll say like
What the
It'll
fuck?
say like catastrophic whatever system error, and you're like, oh no, oh no.
When you think system
Oh,
error, I
no.
think like a computer bug. I don't think a train fell off.
No, I think it literally says stuff like train derailment. You're like, well, not getting my package for a long
I'm
time.
glad that they're that specific. That's nice because they could have put anything in there. The fact that they'll let you know specifically that it was
It's like the one
I think
time
it's because
they're
it's on
like
the news,
Ebola-
and you're like, no, that was
Ebola virus outbreak.
they
Just
learn
delayed.
they can save like thousands of angry calls if they put that on there because people are like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Supply chain issues.
Like it's gonna be a while.
Like the whole train fell off.
You can
Nigel,
go
do you
get it.
remember when you told Mia Malkova you couldn't have sex with her because of supply chain issues? This entire conversation.
Well, I don't
has
remember what
reminded
you're
me of
talking
that.
about.
Yeah,
The
remember
Christmas
when we were
episode?
dressed as Santas? Did you block it?
I don't recall. I don't know.
Collect the entire thing.
Dude,
out
that
of
was
the-
so
Supply chain
fucking
issues.
funny.
That was a fever dream. Like
You were Santa, Mia Malkova, adult actress. How do you?
A star, prawn stars.
She was sitting in your lap and she was asking you for a special gift, and you
Really?
said that you couldn't.
He's never gonna come back on the
supply
podcast
chain
if you do this.
That's crazy, Alan.
She asked for a special gift from Santa Claus, and then you said, "I'm sorry, but there's been supply chain issues at the North Pole. I don't."
I do. I actually very
The
much.
South Pole.
Yeah.
I love that moment though, because her like confusion and disappointment is like what do you say, palpable? Where she's just like she like gave up. Like that was the very moment she just like gave up.
I think that's like the only time she's ever been turned down before.
Okay.
I mean,
wait,
that's-
I'm remembering this now.
that's
And I have
actually-
something to say about it.
That's actually incredibly powerful, Nigel. That you're
Yeah.
probably one of the only people to turn her down. I think she probably remembers that.
I'll give you my insight. I'll tell you what was going on in my head. Basically, I realized that it was in that moment, because I've thought about this the other day too, which is admitting that I do know what you're talking about.
Yes,
Fuck.
thank you.
My
I'm
memory
glad-
isn't broken.
I'm glad that it haunts your dreams.
But it's like I realized in this moment that I could not win. Because I was going to say that
yeah.
The whole thing was designed so
Yeah.
that nobody could win.
No, but
We
I'm
were
saying that
all
the thing that
placed
doesn't
in a
go,
lose-lose
the thing that doesn't get
situation.
through in the video, I find, is when we were there, it's not like, it's hard to describe how unknown everything was. And like we were all told at the very beginning that they were all just random people. It's all random.
It was random.
No. But I'm just saying that like we had no idea what to expect. So even when that first kid came out, I was still like, we don't even know, was it all kids? So we're like scared that we're gonna have to deal with a bunch of kids, but then there's also like there's the cameras and you're
The
trying
wet guy.
you're like trying not to look like a complete
snakes.
moron. But what happened was I realized if I tried in that moment, because you have your strategy when you're walking up, right? So it's like my thought was if I try, I will lose. So what I need to do is do the polar opposite.
There's not a whole lot you can do in a situation like that.
Well, I thought if I just was absolutely terrible, like did the opposite, what she expected was she had some sort of like if I did the opposite of what she expected, that would throw her off.
So you were trying to do like reverse psychology on her.
I mean, out of
That
all,
was my
everyone
theory.
lost, but I think you probably won the most out of all the losers because remember, like my guy was a
Wet guy.
a grown man who was wet.
You had a wet guy.
And he sat in my lap, and the only thing he wanted was a towel.
Yeah.
And
I had
that
the
was
old guy in
what
the Speedo.
Like
And
of
he was
all
like
the,
trying to shove ice cream in my mouth.
of all the
Yeah.
fucking losers, I think you won. Because you also had Will's mom sitting in your lap. That's amazing.
I think you only won because you lied and you told Dax Flame
Yeah,
that you had
actually-
more points than you did.
that was actually
He
amazing.
believed you.
But I just lied. How many points do I have?
52. He's like, okay, 52 points.
I didn't think that would work. In my head was like, if I lie and Dax calls me out, then I get double
I
punished.
think it took us way too long to figure that out. When did we figure that out?
What?
that we
That
just
you lied?
about
Was
the
that
points.
once we saw the video that we figured it out?
Oh wait, it took you that long?
I think so.
that you could just
It
say
took us
whatever
so long.
The
number
problem
you
is
wanted.
Kevin lied.
I tried
Tried
lying and he
lying.
called me out on it. He's like, no, you don't. You have 37 points. I counted. Nigel, how many points do you have? And or something like that.
No, it's just like literally Kevin, because Kevin, you lied about your points, and
Yeah.
now that because I think
You literally got to spray us with like
Yeah, I
eggnog.
just
You
lied,
like,
and
I blacked that
Oh, yeah,
out.
I lied
blacked that out of
first.
my
I got away
memory.
with
I
it. And then
forgot.
I
you
was
lied
so,
and you said a
like-
bigger number.
and then Dax was like, well, you win. I was like, wait, what? And then the cameras just turned off. I was like, wait,
You're like,
Yeah.
what do you call it when you're like with the feeling like you're like out of breath and your head is just like not like a head high, but you're just kind of like buzzed.
Hyperventilating?
No, I was
Dying.
so like I don't want to say jazzed. Like I was so like gassed from that whole thing.
Yeah.
because it was so stressful.
it was so
Yeah.
stressful.
It was terrifying. I'm sweating a little
'Cause
bit
it's
just
like-
even remembering
I'm thinking
the
about
whole
the
thing.
snakes right now.
The snakes were the least bad
like,
part.
the
I guess
way-
that
when-
was
when
like
it
I didn't like the
started-
old guy.
I was gonna say, when
Just
it
wanted to dance
started-
with his wife again.
That's sad. When it started, I thought it was like I said before, it was completely random, which was scary. But then when you find out it wasn't random, you think it's less scary. But no, now you realize it's targeted to you, and now you don't like. You're kind of like now people have chosen stuff that they think I won't like.
So I think we came up with the whole thing in like a day because I didn't want you guys to know. It's like
No, yeah,
me,
we had no
Ian,
idea.
Hannah, we like brainstormed the whole thing.
Well,
and I
like
was
you said, you had the ideas, but you didn't know who was getting.
yeah, we kind of
anything.
generally knew like the progression because like you want to start like how do you like make it so it constantly is
Getting
changes
worse.
direction
Oh,
and like
yeah,
getting
yeah.
worse. And so all we knew, I knew kind of generally what everything was except for a couple of things. I didn't know who was gonna get.
And you didn't know like who specifically was there. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna get the girls.
Okay.
that was my idea.
The girls, including your
Including
mom.
my mom.
Wow.
You know, I feel bad because the second girl, she was just an extra, but everyone thought she was a friend.
I mean, it makes
wait.
the pattern hold.
But that,
It
yeah,
makes
but that doesn't
sense.
make any. That makes no sense because one of them is your mom.
I don't know.
No, it makes
They knew it. I don't know.
I think that's why it's so funny when his mom comes out because there is like a pattern that sort of like is supposed to complete. There's implications to that series of women, which unfortunately like the extra doesn't actually fulfill, but you kind of assume that she does.
We were trying to find more.
Wait, can we have Mia Malkova on as a guest?
Yeah, I think.
Can we like?
Yeah, I think we should.
Let's
And
ask
you're
her
gonna
what she's been up to.
You'll get her side of the
Yeah,
story.
hey, do you remember that nerd you sat on?
She probably blacked it out too.
Yeah. I remember when I said some stuff, like when I kept saying something, she looked at me, okay, I'm done. She's just like,
Yeah, she just said, okay, I'm done.
like, okay, I'm done.
Now I know how
And I'm
like
like, I won.
I know how like a guest on like the Eric Andre show that doesn't like it feels, where like they actually kind of rage quit because it's just they just like overload. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, what do you do? Like you're like, what do you do? Like you're supposed to be funny, you're supposed to say jokes, but there's like a snake
You
on you.
can't.
Like I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
But it is also like, we don't know who is coming out. But at the same time, like, the actors are also, they don't know how it's going to be either.
Oh no,
like,
it's completely.
so it's also
improvised,
nerve-wracking
yeah.
for them because they've literally no clue.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen.
I'm not even sure if they gave any instructions were given.
What do you think?
to
What do you
Mia.
think the green room was like? You know,
Oh,
there's
bizarre.
like there's like an old guy
Fucking-
sitting in underwear. There's like a white guy sitting around.
Yeah,
There's like a kid in a wheelchair.
but it's a fake
that
wheelchair.
kid-
I mean,
Malkova.
the spinal disease is fake or whatever.
I panicked when that kid in the wheelchair came out. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore.
That was a really good way to open it. That was
Yeah.
really a way to just let everyone there know that like this is gonna be fucked up. Like, fucking buckle your seatbelts. Here's a kid in a wheelchair. Fuck you.
I think that's probably one of the funniest things you've ever done.
Would you ever come back for a sequel, Nigel? We did Mall Santa 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I think we should do it. I mean, I don't want to.
Is there like a Jewish thing in a mall?
what?
Do they?
What's
is there
the
a
Jewish equivalent
Santa?
of mall Santa?
Do they have like some kind of a man that comes at night and gives things? Who lights the menorahs? There's some kind of Jewish monster chimney
Elf?
I don't
monster
know.
that- a Jewish elf.
Jelf.
I
What's
think you guys can just look this up.
nah? I don't know. Someone will.
No,
Yeah,
that's.
That's all we need to do. Someone to let us know.
I like the mystery of Hanukkah more than knowing what Hanukkah's actually about.
I don't really know a lot about Christmas either, other than there was like 3 old men that showed up.
Dude,
I don't know anything.
my
think of
family celebrated
Mm.
Christmas like completely secularly because
Was that
my
secular means not religious?
yeah, because my
Yeah,
parents,
same.
they're from China. They're not Christian. They didn't have Christmas there. They came to the States and everyone just did Christmas.
So they're
Yeah.
like, us
they were
too.
like, yeah,
They're like,
like,
hey,
we
this is
better
pretty
do
cool.
Christmas
Like,
for this
yeah.
kid.
like presents.
Oh, that's probably the best Christmas actually.
I mean, it was all about the gifts.
yeah, that's right.
Did you
It's
still
very like
like?
capitalist Christmas.
Did you still listen to Christmas music like?
yeah,
Silent
yeah. No,
Night?
I was really into Christmas, but I was like probably like in my like well into my early teens when I really grasped like, oh, it's like a religious thing.
Yeah.
Like Jesus is involved in this.
Imagine like
It's
you-
really not though.
Yeah, I mean,
Not anymore.
You can literally go a decade celebrating Christmas and not realize that it's supposed to be
yeah,
like a Jesus thing.
Well, Japan they do the KFC Christmas. Right?
Yeah, I think that's I
They're
want
just
to do
confused.
that.
that's odd. How did that happen? Is there any backstory?
I
feel like
think it was. I mean, everything. There's so many things in Japan that, from my understanding, work because of just really brilliant marketing campaigns.
Yeah.
Like the whole like salmon sushi is very recent in Japan.
Salmon sushi's excellent.
Yeah,
What, really?
but that was like a fucking. I think it was like Norwegian.
Well, yeah, 'cause salmon's not.
They had a
very
lot of
Japanese.
excess salmon. They're like, how are we going to get rid of the salmon? And they figured out that like they could market it as like a new, because it was just tuna up until like a couple decades ago. Like that's a relatively recent thing. Is salmon
Thank the
sushi?
Norwegians.
Yeah, it is good, but it's like
Yeah.
before that, no one really did that.
Right.
And so like the KFC thing, I imagine is I don't know. It's kind of the same colors as
Do you want
Coca-Cola.
sushi, Nigel? For later?
I'm gonna look
I'm
up.
feeling
do
sushi
sushi.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
To cancel out the prosciutto.
the tradition is in Japan on Christmas. I think I asked PewDiePie if they did it.
To like a KFC bucket.
Yeah, Japan.
That's just pure
KFC.
marketing.
Well, there was also like Kit Kats are really big in Japan, and there's so many unique flavors, and it was just
Because it sounds good.
it was
right?
it was a coincidence that the way you would say Kit Kat in Japanese kitokato is like a homophone for like good luck or something like that, or like it basically it became a thing where like if someone was like graduating or they got a new job
They
or
would
like
get them a Kit Kat.
they would get
There's
them
like
a Kit 'cause it's
exclusive
Kit
Kit
Kato.
Kat flavors or something.
And so
It was like,
the Kit Kat market in Japan just exploded because of like it's like a novelty and a tradition, and so that's why when you go to Japan, there's so many Kit Kat flavors.
they're so good too. They should have them here.
Wait,
Well, no, because we don't give them as.
I'm telling you, like the
congratulations
orange
for
cream
things.
Kit Kat
American
was
Kit
so
Kats
good.
here. American Kit Kats,
Yes.
inedible.
Yeah.
Okay, good. There's not even
I
a
agree.
controversy.
No,
We
Not
did
even
a whole
controversy.
we did a whole experiment at one point.
Alan
between
didn't
the US
believe
and
it.
Canada. Well, because why would it be different? It's all Kit Kats.
America is I think Kit Kat is made by Hershey here, and it's the only Kit Kat that isn't made by Nestle.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
really?
American
It's
chocolate.
Hershey's
shit.
wax
It's bad.
recipe.
It's bad.
I remember Alan's like, he didn't believe it. He's like, let's do a double blind test, like a blind, not double blind, just a blind test. I hand him like 2 Kit Kats. He eats one. He's
I
like,
hand
okay.
you a Kit Kat, and then you handed Alan a
Okay,
Kit
there we
Kat.
But Alan tried both, and just immediately he's like, yeah, this one sucks. He's like, it wasn't even a debate.
It was so disappointing. Like everything. It's almost like there's just free market run amok here. It's like if they can get away with feeding you brown wax instead of
Yeah,
chocolate,
I
they'll do
know.
it. And we
Is it-
accept
And
it.
then
We
Japan,
still
they get
buy them.
the green tea Kit
Yeah.
Kats.
Yeah, like the
My-
sakura
My
flavor.
favorite
Uh-huh.
though, I think on Google, if you look up, if you type in like, why does Hershey chocolate, it autocompletes as
Tastes like shit.
tastes like wax. And I remember you hit enter, and then someone asked that, and the answer was because it contains wax.
Wait, actually?
And you're like, well, that's an answer I
No.
probably didn't need
Does
to
it?
search. I don't know. I'm just saying that's what happens when you Google it.
When we landed in New Zealand,
I believe it though.
we went to like we were looking just for like a drinking fountain in the airport. Like leaving the airport, found like a little convenience store in the airport. Got bottled water, and then I saw some chocolates. Like they had these like big kind of gold bar wrap. They're like a little bit rectangular, like kind of playing card ratio,
Huh.
but a little bit smaller. Just a big block of chocolate. And you know when you have a piece of chocolate that's not from America, and you're like, this is really good.
Yeah.
Why don't we have this?
Like it's rich. It's
Yeah.
like creamy. It's like actually
It like melts easily.
Yeah, tastes like something.
It's
Yeah.
not like wax.
It's like
Yeah.
real fat or something, not
Yeah.
palm oil.
Stabilizer.
It's not 50% wax.
like
I'm gonna look it up.
what do they put in it? Because I feel like even like
it's not what they put in it, it's what they don't put in it, which is wax.
I'm just saying, like scientists have made all sorts of crazy shit. Like if they can turn toilet paper into cotton candy or whatever, I'm sure they
Yeah,
could.
whatever
They
it
could
is that
turn
Nigel
candle
fucking
wax
does.
into a Kit Kat. And have
Wow.
Why does Hershey autocomplete suit taste like vomit, smell like vomit, taste weird, taste bad,
Okay, but are you
taste
doing
different,
are you-
burn my
You have
throat?
to incognito because these are going to be tailored to you.
Okay, fine.
You don't know. You just think everything tastes like vomit and Google.
Why does
knows.
Hershey's have
Just
sex
so
with
we
my
probably-
wife?
Why does Hershey? It doesn't autocomplete.
Why does everything taste like vomit?
do it
'Cause
on
you
my
keep
phone.
vomiting in your mouth when you eat. That's why your stomach hurts.
I just why does Hershey chocolate taste like vomit? There's a Huffington Post thing.
What? Like it's a legit thing.
The presence of butyric acid is to blame.
Okay,
Why is that in? That shouldn't.
Why
be,
is that in my
I
chocolate?
get
chocolate.
Hershey's not tasting good. I have never felt like Hershey's tasted like vomit.
No, I've
yeah, I
never-
don't think so either.
I think it has this just like very slight undertone. You know, when you smell
Oh, there,
broccoli,
there,
it
look.
smells like farts.
Why does Hershey taste like? And then see, third is wax. It goes vomit and then wax. And you do that. It says that due cheaper vegetable fats
Doo-doo.
due to the use of cheaper vegetable fats such as palm and soy oil instead of cocoa butter. They don't use cocoa butter.
Dude, I don't know. I'm just telling you, like, traveling
Hershey's
around
uses
recently,
paraffin wax.
I feel like
Copious
we
amounts
don't
of
have
oil.
good stuff.
I feel like
We just don't have good stuff in America.
yeah,
Like
I
traveling
agree.
around, I feel like everywhere else has just like better quality food, better quality ingredients. The experiences are better.
Yeah.
America kind of, you know,
Well, it's because
Wait.
we accept
Like-
it.
it's like a race to
I like
how
this.
cheap can people make stuff
Why?
here.
Kevin, it says, why American chocolate tastes like garbage? The guy goes, they can sell them, of course, but they have to be labeled chocolate candy, made with chocolate, etc. The guy goes, sometimes freedom tastes like wax.
Made with freedom wax.
Do we have
I-
chocolate here? I want
There is, I think, so, there is Hershey's chocolate here.
to. Okay.
I think.
Are we gonna eat some wax right now? God, because I mean, there's like, I guess there's a lot of good things about being in America,
Uh-huh.
right?
Not
It's
the
like
chocolate.
not the chocolate. There's a lot of good. I mean, you can buy a gun. It's hard to find some good chocolate.
What makes
though.
it good also makes it bad.
You know, Hershey's chocolate is shit because when you
No,
buy
but
these
some of them are
multi
good.
bags,
Some-
they like
oh,
force you to get.
I like
some of
York,
them.
though. I
Do you
like
think
the
that this is
patty.
like
No,
lower
no.
quality candy than normal?
Never
Oh,
gonna
there's
happen.
some actual little Hershey's.
Mass produce it for Halloween.
Okay, we're
All
gonna
right,
taste
we're handing
this.
out the.
You should have got the Mr. Beast bars.
They changed the recipe. We did try one right before that. I think Jabril was.
What? What did they
look,
do with the Beast Bars?
I want to like
were-
Feastables. I would love to like Feastables. I don't like Feastables.
They were.
they were good or
They were
I
bad?
good.
talked to someone there. I'm not
They
sure if
were
I can say
okay.
anything. I did ask though.
Okay,
we're all
so
tasting on 3.
it doesn't smell like
Wait, let's
vomit.
smell
It
it.
smells
Nope.
it smells like Hershey's chocolate.
no vomit.
I got a whiff of vomit.
What?
There is.
Who's-
there is
your,
like-
your vomit smells like chocolate?
It's
No,
like
there's
it's like
something.
a note. There's like this high end
Yeah.
note
There is.
of,
It has
of
a
like
distinct
clean vomit.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
some sort of weird like.
It is like the
essence.
butyric acid.
Like this.
It is there, but I would never say it's like vomit.
I feel like chocolate doesn't really smell, and this smells a lot. Like this doesn't smell.
I've got a
Like
I've got a mass spectrometer sniffer and I can smell it.
like it's fine, but there's something about like
taste it.
towards
I
the end
can't
of it,
taste-
it kind of gets grainy, you know? Like it gets a little like I don't want to say chalky, but like it's almost granular towards the end. It's not smooth.
the vomitness kind of comes out at the tail end as well. Like actually, like right now.
If I really think
This is older chocolate though.
Less than a year though.
Yeah.
Does Hershey's get the white crystallization?
Yeah,
on
I
it?
think
Oh,
they
it
do.
does.
But we
was
don't have
reading
any
about that.
international chocolate to compare this against.
I
You
just
just have to
know.
dream.
This is just bad.
okay, I'll say it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not amazing. It's okay. But Kit Kat is like exceptionally bad. It's like the wafer stale. The chocolate tastes weirdly worse than this. I don't know.
Can I have a peppermint one?
The peppermint. I like the York.
York. Oh wait, I want an almond joy. No wait, there's Kit Kats.
There's
Let's
a
do
Kit
Kit
Kat
Kats.
here. Okay, we got a Kit Kat.
Okay, Kit Kats.
Kit Kats are
This okay. I think
Break me off
my,
a piece of
actually don't
that
want
Kit
the
my
rest
Kat bar.
consensus. This Hershey's bar feels like something that if you got in an MRE,
I
would be kind of
abandoned it.
exciting.
Sorry,
Oh, put it on the.
you got it where?
If there was a Hershey's bar in like an MRE,
yeah,
like it would be good chocolate.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no, it's totally fine.
If you were in a war zone and all you had to eat was Hershey's chocolate, like yeah,
It would be really good.
compared to the other chocolate that you get.
You guys are trying.
No,
to
you'd
Kit
be
Kats?
incentivized to steal the
Here, I'll-
enemy's
we can have
chocolate because
half.
you'd be
Oh,
anywhere
yeah,
but
we're
America.
Yeah, we're opening a
Kit
Kit
Kat's
Kat.
my favorite, and every time the first one I got in America, I got a Kit Kat. I literally ate it and went, oh, this one's like, it's gone bad. So I went back and bought a second one. And it tasted the same. And I was like, man, like maybe I just keep getting a bad one. That was actually in Tampa when you ghosted me.
Wow.
You're never gonna let that go, are you, Nigel?
It's just like
Yeah, it's kind
bad.
of just like it literally
The wafer doesn't have a crunch. It's like stale.
I think you could actually mix wax with sugar and it would essentially be the same thing.
Do you guys remember those wax lips candies?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's like they look like a pair of lips. You would get them like only on Halloween, I
Yeah,
think.
you're like,
And then I think you were. I don't know if you were supposed to like just wear them as a gag, or you're supposed to like.
I just ate them.
I think they're edible.
They were
What do you mean-
wax.
What do you mean? Oh, wax.
Yeah, they were. They were
I
made
thought
of
you meant
wax.
chocolates.
No, they were like
Oh.
wax.
Watch this.
Okay.
You should do a video about making chocolate.
I did.
Did you sell Did you sell it? Can I buy NileRed chocolate?
I don't think you
What
want
did
it.
you? I
eat
didn't. I haven't seen it.
Clearly an avid fan. Yeah, I can
I'm
see.
sorry. I don't even remember the last YouTube video I watched.
I do. It was a horrible one. It's called Safety Third.
Oh, but overall pretty good.
Overall, pretty good.
I mean, if people are willing to eat Hershey's, I understand why they're willing to listen to Safety Third.
No, I
Dude, we're like the Hershey's of
The Hershey's of podcasts. Oh God, good if you're in a war.
What did you learn about chocolate?
while making chocolate.
Yeah. Here's like
I'll say what I learned from
Silence.
watching your video, Nigel. That
I can't make chocolate.
the cocoa is fucking gross.
Yeah.
like you think
So
when you imagine cocoa beans or whatever, you would think of, I don't know, like almost like coffee beans,
Like a
That's what
cocoa
I think
pebble or
of.
something like
Yeah,
that, you know?
but it's like a slimy maggot looking thing.
So it's weird. I guess like that is. I think the thing that I learned that was the most interesting was when you eat chocolate, it doesn't taste like anything else but chocolate. It's like such a unique flavor. And I think we cut this out of the video, but when you taste the raw pod before it's like cooked or anything, it tastes like something like a green vegetable, but also has notes of chocolate in it. And like you start to feel that connection between a plant and chocolate. Like it's not like this weird thing that's not like anything else. The roasting gets rid of all the plant part of it.
Is it good though? Because it's not sweet, right?
No,
when
I
it
trying to
starts?
like compare. It's like almost. I don't remember the texture, but imagine you ate like an almond or something, like a fresh almond.
kind of nutty.
I don't think it was nutty. It was like maybe it's like, but it's like an almond that is
Not
very
roasted,
green
yeah.
tasting. Like you're chewing on like I don't know, like spinach or lettuce or like it has like a very vegetable-y
really weird.
flavor.
Because so
But
like
it has like this chocolatey in it. You can go. I can see where the chocolate comes from.
So like some caveman chewed on that and was like, oh, if we got rid of the plant flavor and added some sugar,
tired
this
of
would
this
be
booger
amazing.
salad.
Yeah.
So I
Finish your booger salad.
I don't know where because I'm pretty sure chocolate was made in Mexico first.
I'd believe it.
I think
Okay.
that's.
Is it South America?
That makes sense.
I think it was like the Aztecs or the Mayans or something.
I believe that,
They-
yeah.
They did it first. But I don't know if they
I think
probably just
Cord's
like,
on it. We're gonna find out exactly where chocolate came from.
I think they just roasted it in the fire or something. And they're like, oh, it makes like a cool, I don't know what they did with it.
Maybe
it
they were
wasn't
trying to cook it or
It wasn't
something?
chocolate. Sorry. It was
a
like,
precursor.
I think it was the precursor to chocolate.
It says, what does that say?
The Olmec,
Okay,
one of
yeah.
the early civilizations in Latin
Latin
America, were the
America.
first to turn cacao plants into chocolate. They drank their chocolate.
Yeah, see, they're
drank their chocolate
They're
during
the-
rituals and used it as medicine. Centuries later, the Mayan praised chocolate
yeah.
as the drink of the gods. What?
Yeah.
Like, since
Well,
the
'cause
Aztecs invented the first chocolate bars.
What did they? But
Huh.
I want to know about the drink. This drink.
so if you go to like Spain,
Yeah.
and you get a hot chocolate, it's not like the fucking hot chocolates here are, it's like the cocoa powder
It's
and the water.
paraffin wax. Now you know what they do with all the leftover bits of hotel
Red
soap.
dye
If-
number
if
7.
if you get a hot
good
chocolate
stuff.
in
40,
Spain,
yeah,
it is
oh,
like
yeah.
actually like molten chocolate. Like it is.
Oh.
It's a lot.
yeah,
it
yeah.
is like-
it's like a puck that you put in there and melts or something,
It's
right?
it's just that it'll come out of like a fucking tap almost.
Like nacho cheese.
It's like brown nacho cheese.
Oh, no.
But it's so rich and it's like it's absurd. Like
That seems horrible.
it's a lot, but it's also like
Would
good
it-
because it's like it's just like that's essentially the original chocolate. It's like a drink form, not a solid bar form.
But it's like soup.
It's not like soup. It's like
Is it like
Well, did they not
Hershey's
just, like-
Hershey's syrup?
not. I mean, it's not
chocolate
like. I
milk?
mean, all these things are just like they're gross when you think. It's like imagine that, but
Imitation.
not gross.
It's more
Simulacra.
liquidy.
But I think they
It's-
didn't like mix it with lots of sugar and stuff at the beginning, right?
I don't know.
I think it was
It's-
mostly
yeah, it's-
the cocoa, like the.
It's like a hot liquid dark chocolate.
I think it's the
almost kind of
cocoa
thing.
butter because the cocoa butter will melt. That's what gives it the oily meltiness.
Mhm. It's like you can have a cup of that, and it is like,
Oh wait,
it's an experience. It
So-
is a lot. It's like you drink that and you go, holy
Would it be better
fuck,
if
like,
it was like more diluted with like milk or something?
No. I think part of the experience.
oh wait, you eat the goo pure?
you drink it. You get a cup of, and I wouldn't call it goo, but I wouldn't call it soup. It's not watery.
Sludge.
Well, wait,
It's
so
not sludge. It's just liquid chocolate.
so
water?
wait, so
What's
I
it, how liquid is it? Like Elmer's white glue or like?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was imagining.
Yeah.
It's goo.
That's not goo.
It's
Syrup.
glue.
syrup.
It's
Okay,
glue.
okay. You have a cup full of it. You put it upside down for a second. Like
It'll come out.
it will.
come
Like
out.
all
Yeah.
come out or it starts oozing. Or just fall.
It'll ooze out pretty fast. It's a fast ooze. It's not a pour. It's a fast ooze.
Because you asked me what I learned with making chocolate, right? And one thing that I think is interesting is like, sorry, the you have
That's why your chocolate tastes
you
like
get, you
vomit.
get the two, yeah, you get the two main ingredients, which is like cocoa powder and cocoa butter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like
Which
that's
both come from.
they both come from the bean.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But the thing is, like, when they make the chocolate, what you do is you roast it and you crush it into a powder.
Mm.
And then they have like stone mills, and if you just grind it long enough,
The powder.
the oil, the powder, the oils all come out, and you will have a liquidy, a very smooth liquid.
Like peanut butter kind of.
Yeah, exactly. It's
No,
like,
but even like it'll become like very smooth, and like for dark chocolate,
Like
and stuff,
Nutella?
you don't even need to really add that much. You can just literally grind the powder until it's
Like it's just dark chocolate at that point.
but that'd be like 100%.
Is there more of the butter, like the ratio of butter and chocolate that is
How do
in
you-
the plant? Do they have to add more butter or
So
less
that's
butter?
what always messed me up is like
how do they make the butter?
that's the thing. It's like it's like they're both coming from the same place, so you get the same amount every time. So in order to get more cocoa butter, you sacrificing.
They sell cocoa powder, which is then used for like flavor.
yeah,
and
but
stuff.
they come from the same thing. Like you roast the bean and then the cocoa butter's in there.
they could like.
Yeah, but then if you take it out and you have to make more chocolate,
Yeah, then you take I'm assuming that the
So it's
leftover is
like-
that's like cocoa powder.
so they take some out and they make dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And then they use that to subsidize the milk chocolate.
Ah.
No, but I totally believe that. Like,
But I'm just saying, like, there's always a
Yeah.
limited amount compared
but
to
they
your
do.
cocoa.
You don't use. I think the cocoa powder is like got to be the byproduct of taking the butter out. No, right?
The cocoa
No.
powder is just you smash the dry bean.
Yeah,
and then
but
it's just
but
get a
when you
powder.
buy cocoa powder at the store, there's not oil. There's no cocoa butter
Oh,
in it.
yeah.
It's like you end up with like a surplus of the flavor.
like
which
the way
then-
we do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that real chocolate too? The Nestle's cocoa powder? Is that some like
No, it
like
probably is like
gotta
Nestle.
be
It probably is like a
some-
byproduct.
they have
Wow.
a street sweeper go down the freeway and it sucks up all the tire dust and then that's
I don't know.
Nestle's cocoa powder.
Maybe the cocoa butter they purified a different way.
Huh.
Like maybe there's a way you don't have to roast the bean and you like squish the.
Well,
I don't know.
I think if
maybe
you
there's a different process.
if you took the beans and like ground them up like into like coffee or something, and then you like put them in a press, like how do they get peanut oil or olive oil out? Right? They like they
Cold
just
press,
they
right?
squeeze the living daylight.
yeah,
out
but they
of it.
don't roast things first. Is what I'm saying. Like I'm like if you have a cocoa butter operation, maybe you just like squish them before roasting.
Oh, like just get the oil out.
Yeah, like you're just trying to get all the oil out because the moment you roast it, it gets kind of tied up in the powder.
I'm sure you lose a lot of oil too once you roast it because it's like the heat.
I don't think the oil necessarily, like the butter, goes anywhere, but it gets all stuck to the powder,
Right.
and that's why as you grind it and make the particles smaller and smaller, I think it's like their ability
So
to
they
hold
probably
onto
like
the oil
extract
gets
it like
less.
industrially with a solvent, like take it out.
I think it's before they roast it. They might just like canola
Oh,
oil
it's
or
a
something. They
butyric
just
acid.
hydraulically press it. What?
It's butyric acid. That's how they
Yeah.
get the.
I don't know. I don't know about. Maybe they just don't roast it and they just crush it, get all the oil out, and that doesn't become cocoa.
My thought.
Because cocoa should have the butter in it, I think.
Yeah.
You just roast the beans, crush it, and they're like, "Kid, here's your cocoa powder." So I think it has like the oils in it.
The stuff you buy at the store.
Yeah, I think it
Are you
has.
sure? It's super dry.
That's like coconut. They
yeah.
have coconut milk. They have coconut oil. It's like how did both those come from? Then they have
But
coconut.
I think then
meat.
you end up with an excess. Like you have
It's
extra of the less oily stuff and then extra oil.
But the cocoa
Yeah.
powder, that dry stuff in the store,
Yeah.
if you just keep grinding and grinding,
You sure?
That's how when I get the cocoa powder, it's like it feels super dry.
Yeah, but that was, like,
if you
your
keep
own.
grinding it, the oil just like I don't know, it just appears.
Well, I guess you could just look at how much oil is like in the ingredients. Like if there's like
it's a
fat.
pretty high percentage of oil. I think.
Yeah, but store bought cocoa powder, like baking powder, baking
I'll
cocoa
look it up.
or whatever.
God, I really want chocolate now. I don't know why.
Oh,
this is crazy.
I just had
We have
more-
chocolate at home.
Yeah. I think we're hungry.
Give me is there an almond joy in there? I'll take an almond
yeah,
joy.
that's
Oh,
better.
these are pretty good.
They're so sweet, my teeth hurt now.
I feel like if I bet you, I'd
I
bet
love
my
it.
life
I think almond joy is pretty good.
that if you tried to make chocolate with minimal ingredients, you would end up with something worse than if you were a little bit more kind of chef-ish with
It
it.
says you buy cocoa nibs. 54 to 58% of it is.
What is nibs?
It's where you just like take the roasted bean.
Yeah.
And you just like hit it. So
Yeah, so it's just crumbled.
So like you know when you get sometimes like I don't know some desserts and there's like little cocoa. They're like.
But
chunks.
nibs is not cocoa powder, right?
But you just grind the nibs to make the powder.
So nibs is like a piece of the raw cocoa cocoa.
Like maybe like
Seed?
it's almost like like ground, like very coarsely ground coffee would be nibs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's like they're like chunks.
I don't think
But
I've
you
ever
just
had
grind that
like
again and you get the cocoa powder. It's weird. It feels like a super dry powder, but when
I
you
feel like,
mill it,
like Hershey's cocoa powder has gotta have.
oh, they said there's no cocoa butter in it.
So they see that's it's like a byproduct basically. They pull all the good shit
yeah.
out.
So what they do,
they go to put it in their chocolate.
They
and they're
solved
like,
it.
Nope, and they like don't put it in
Will,
their
they
chocolate.
solved the
What
problem.
do they do with it?
they, like I said, they take, if this is true, they take the beans.
probably
They
sell
don't
in
roast
Europe.
it. They hydraulically press out the good stuff,
Okay.
and then they roast the beans.
Yeah,
And they substitute all the stuff they took out
with
for crappy
with,
oil.
with butyric
and then
acid.
they sell the
and
cocoa
palm
butter
oil.
to the real chocolate companies.
Yeah, I think so.
I literally do not think that is anywhere even off base. I think that might actually be exactly what happened.
They're like, we can make more money if we just sell the good
They sell it to
part.
Kit Kat in Japan.
Exactly.
like they could use science to make chocolate with cocoa butter taste really good.
hmm
But instead what they do is they use science to get rid of all the cocoa butter
Replace it
and
with
make
like
chocolate
palm oil
super
or
cheap.
whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Like that's actually
That's
what they
genius.
do. Like I bet you that chocolate made like super pure is probably worse than chocolate that's been optimized.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you
Like
could
a-
definitely spend your time like optimizing chocolate to make it like super tasty.
Yeah.
And it's also like expensive.
It
and,
probably
like,
does
a
not
premium
involve
chocolate.
palm, like the
Like
paraffin wax.
we've min-maxed it so the cost is the lowest.
Yeah.
Not so like the cost benefit is like towards taste.
Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah.
It's
to,
towards
make,
like profit.
Exactly.
to make the chocolate, you really just buy the fruit, which actually, I mean, there's a company in Florida that sold it to us. You just take out the whatever the
goo.
insides. It actually tastes like a
What do you do with the
orangey
shell?
citrus. It's you can chuck it.
It looks like a
it's
cashew,
the more you
right?
think
Like a
about
raw
it, but the
cashew.
shell's kind of like it's like a pumpkin-y
You could eat it.
texture. I don't know if you can eat it, but I'm
Put it in
saying
a
that like
stew?
the texture does feel like it's like a pumpkin or one of the kind of in that family.
Huh.
But you take out and pumpkins inside are kind of gross
Yeah.
too. But you take the beans, and you have to just then I'm forgetting
Oh
the
no,
whole
that
process.
looks nothing.
Oh, you
nothing
let it
like
ferment.
Oh, there's
Like
a
a cashew.
fermentation process.
Yeah, the first step is you ferment
You said
it
you
and
watched
it
the
helps. Yeah, you didn't.
I skipped
skimmed it.
around. It was a while ago.
Yeah, you let the what's it? Actually, you were in town when I was editing it before we went to go. When you were on your unposted video.
Yeah, the Michael Superbecker,
Yeah.
the first the Air Umbrella one before we got in. I think you were there when I think I was in a McDonald's when I saw that he emailed me.
yeah,
I was in a Canadian McDonald's and I came
I
out.
went there the other day and I thought of you.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, he got back to me, but I still can't publish this video yet.
But if you take cocoa beans, just you leave them, ferment them, and then you roast them after, you'll get like I guess kind of whatever. It's like it doesn't look like coffee beans, but kind of it's like brown beans now. They'll be dry enough you can crush them, and those are the cocoa nibs. And then you can buy a chocolate mill, which I think traditionally are like 2 stones, and you just literally grind the powder, and it will become like a chocolate syrup.
What if you put that into a coffee maker?
What do you
Chocolate
mean?
nibs.
Like to try to make
Yeah.
like
Nibs
chocolate,
in
a-
like
coffee,
like a
coffee.
chocolate drink.
Yeah, I don't
I think
know.
that's what the original stuff was.
They put like they do drip.
I think they just soaked the beans or whatever in water, and you got like a watery coffee drink. I think.
That sounds awesome. Wait,
But they
probably pretty
evolved.
good.
Then they figured out how to concentrate it and then mix it with milk. and then no one looked back.
then paraffin wax, and now that's what every time you crack open a Hershey's
They
with
look
the
like
boys.
that. Those are the beans after you roast
yeah,
them.
yeah, I think so.
I feel like I've seen this in grocery
But you
stores.
can
before.
literally take that, crush it,
They look
and
like-
just grind it until it becomes like a syrup.
That looks more like
And
what I
people make
imagine.
dark
It looks like
chocolate.
an
cocoa bean
enormous
looks like.
peanut.
Kind
Yeah,
of. It's like
yeah.
a nut.
I want to put them in like a coffee grinder and just like spin it until it makes.
How
Chocolate.
big are they?
Yeah, like-
no,
yeah,
I did
chocolate.
it.
Those look like testicle
do
size.
If you watch in the video,
Really?
Yeah.
No.
if you
Well,
let
how
it run
big?
long enough,
Uh-huh.
you will start to get like,
this big.
Maybe like a
Like,
cat
there's, like, ice-
or like a dog. No,
Oh,
dog.
but the
okay.
proper
Dog testicle
mill
depends on
will
the
get
breed.
like smooth
Keep going.
flowing.
A lot of
chocolate
variance
icing.
there.
And people then sometimes like for dark chocolate, they literally can just take that
Yeah.
and just put it in a mold, and that's it. They're done.
Mm.
Like the real good
Oh,
dark
really?
chocolate is they just grind the beans pure,
Yeah.
mold it, you're done.
And that's like 100%
I think it's like
dark.
I don't think it's 100% because there's
Oh.
always cocoa butter in it, but it's
Right.
like high percentage.
But it's like
Wow.
it is what it is. Like it's
it's
literally.
just you literally
Yeah.
just roasted the beans, put them in a mold,
It's like
grind them, put
fresh
them in a
made
mold, and
peanut
you're
butter.
done.
so nobody
Oh.
like re-ratioed it. They just
And the milk powder one, sorry, the milk chocolate is you literally just add some sugar and milk powder,
Hmm.
I mean, that seems like.
and
you
that's
know,
it. Like that's
seems
the
okay.
Base.
Mhm.
No, it's like
Yeah.
base chocolate is really pretty much almost just the bean with some additives if you want
Man,
to.
I want some real dark chocolate. I want just the ground up nibs pressed into a mold. That's what I want.
Yeah. I just want to chew on the beans.
I think-
That's me. Just give me the beans.
I think the New
I kinda messed
Zealand
mine up, too.
bars were like
They're
what I
all
would
burnt.
consider the perfect chocolate. They're like
Hmm.
like it's like milk
The
chocolate.
ones
It's
with
like
Pop Rocks in them.
Wait, there's ones with Pop Rocks in it.
okay, I don't know that's the perfect chocolate. We did that on Patreon. We got this chocolate that had Pop Rocks in it.
Wow.
it took.
Yeah.
It was a dude.
Spicy.
It was insane because they like keep going off like as you swallow them.
The-
They
the
kinda go
chocolate-
down your
Yeah.
throat.
it's like
it's
it's
brilliant.
It like
Stomach.
coats,
Yeah.
coats your throat.
The chocolate like conformal coats and protects. It like protects the Pop Rocks.
Yeah.
And so normally when you put Pop Rocks, they go all off at once.
No, this
but
is
here
like-
you have to like slowly erode the chocolate from the little
Yeah.
like
It
nodules.
like goes for a long time.
It actually.
Was it good or bad?
It
was.
it was
yes,
a good, it was a good
yes.
experience. It was
Yeah.
bad chocolate.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like that's a Halloween candy.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Or like a novelty. You couldn't just sit down and like eat.
It didn't hurt.
Eat it.
It was just like.
It was surprising. It was bizarre.
It was like loaded with Pop Rocks.
Yeah, I feel
though.
like it's because like one of my favorite chocolate bars is Crunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of like Crunch. How you have like little pockets of rice.
I mean,
and-
it's like
Imagine
it's
No,
like
active
I'm
crunch.
saying it's like that except extra.
Crunch.
Yeah,
It was
it's
almost
It's
like
like Crunch, but
it's
with an extra.
Crunch 2. Imagine
Yeah.
Crunch 2.
but it was like creamy. It's like you couldn't really tell where the popping grains are. It was kind of like too mixed in there.
Were they like?
It was like almost
a candy though.
Imagine,
weird.
imagine
chocolate.
like carbonated chocolate milk.
yeah,
That's a good idea.
But like
Yeah.
violet.
yeah,
I want to try that.
like a sparkling water, LaCroix when you first open it, but chocolate and solid.
What's the most cursed like food combination?
I think that was up there.
Yeah.
Like
Pop
it's
Rocks
not
and
bad,
chocolate.
but it's like
It's just like the textures
Like
and everything
creamy
just
Pop
don't
Rocks.
work.
it doesn't. But it didn't clash. It just. I mean, dude, I don't know. I would definitely recommend trying it if you have the option.
If not, you can just get some Pop Rocks and some Hershey's.
Yeah, do it yourself.
Melt them.
Just go to
together.
New Zealand. I highly recommend going to New Zealand. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I learned some stuff about New Zealand.
What?
You guys talking about the time zones?
Oh my god, it's so weird, isn't it? It's like, how is that far away still only?
Yeah, 21
They're just in the
hours
future.
ahead.
Yeah.
So it's 3 hours behind tomorrow.
That was the first time that I think I really
man.
comprehended what our like world map is. Where I was
How
like,
messed up it is.
yeah, how messed up the world map. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. It's like hardly any difference.
Because if you look at like on a globe or like on a map,
Yeah.
and you look at like the Pacific Ocean, it looks like there's nothing there.
yeah, it's like
nothing.
forever away.
Yeah, but it's actually just right there.
Yeah, it's literally just down. It's really far down.
Yeah,
3 hours.
the
is like
forgotten half of the
Yeah.
earth.
Well, how long's the flight from here to there?
12 or 13.
That's
Yeah, it's not that bad.
For me, it's
actually.
bad. For Montreal, it'd be like 18. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're looking at a globe right now. I highly recommend it.
Where
If
is
there's-
it? It's not even there.
Dude, I don't even know.
I
man.
feel like that it's
I'm
No,
starting to
it's-
believe the flat Earth theory.
Yeah,
It's the only way it
because
makes
it's just
sense.
as far away as Japan,
Yeah.
but Japan was like 8 hours difference
Yes.
or something.
Right.
I guess it depends how down you're going
Yes.
versus to the right.
Yeah,
or
but
to
like
the
you think
left.
that the time zones would be like perfectly evenly spaced,
No,
right?
they're pretty bad. Yeah.
But I think the ones in the Pacific Ocean are like really, really big
Yeah.
too. I think they're like 2 or 3 times the size of a normal time zone.
Yeah.
Bizarre too, because the like
No, but it's not because it's like it's also still light.
Because they're on the southern hemisphere.
Yeah,
So their summer is our winter,
yeah.
which is very weird. Their
Yeah.
Christmas for them must be very confusing.
Because it is like the sunset
Very
is actually
secular.
like 3
You see all the,
hours
like,
later.
The, like the Coke ads with the polar bears and it's snowing. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's summer here.
I mean, to a certain extent, you guys get it here, where it's like, to me, the idea of having like a Christmas without snow is super weird.
It's like Christmas without KFC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you
I
guys
don't
just think
want
that's
it.
normal.
I feel naked.
Hanukkah
don't want a
without
Christmas without
the
KFC.
jelf,
No,
the jelf bringing you presents.
The gels. The Hanukkah gels.
Yeah, it's just not right.
Oh my god! Wait, it took me a long time.
I don't really.
Shelf on the shelf.
Oh.
Yeah, you know the Jewish Hanukkah elf.
Of course.
The jelf. The jelf.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Christian elf. Kelf.
I don't understand how like New Zealand, Hawaii, like American Samoa, like it's all like Polynesian. Like it's actually all like a kind of connected culture.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Moana after we got back from New Zealand. Moana.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that's so
I don't
funny.
And
know what that
so you never saw
Disney.
Moana? The Disney
Moana?
movie? Yeah, Moana.
I love that you like
What
want to learn
can
more
I
about the
say
culture and you
except you fucked up.
So I learned
I
that
don't even know.
Moana is
Dude, the crab part's crazy.
it's fictional.
I like the crab.
Mostly.
Yeah, the big shiny crab.
Yeah.
It's fictional, but I also didn't realize that it's based off of a culture that's like actually that entire
be
ocean. So like Maui is a demigod or a god, and it's like one of the names of the island of like one of the Hawaiian islands, but they have Maui in New Zealand too. And there's a creation myth that the two islands, the northern part of New Zealand was made from a fish that Maui caught. And the southern portion of the island, the southern island, is like one of his boats that he left.
Hmm.
So it's all one fucking thing.
What about how is Hawaii made?
I think they have slightly different versions, but there's like a lot of similarities because like derives from like
Yeah.
the same culture. I think the Hawaiian Maui is less weird than the New Zealand Maui. I think New Zealand Maui does some fucked up shit.
This makes me.
So he's like the Zeus. Of,
Yeah, I think New Zealand Maui dies because he tries to like settle a bet that he can like crawl through. There's like some goddess of life, and he's like, I could totally crawl through her mouth and exit her vagina. And so he turns into a worm and he does it. But then the goddess wakes up and her vagina is lined with obsidian teeth and she bites him in half and he dies. And that actually unleashes mortality on everyone in the
You
world.
said
Wait, so what's the moral of the story?
Alan, you said, Alan, you
That's
said,
how it goes.
Alan, you said, I think a lot.
I do not remember this from Moana.
Look, I'm just saying this after a single viewing of Moana. I'm pretty sure that's how it happened.
I think he does mention turning into a worm at one point.
You know, like a teacher or adult that like has to have an explanation for every question because they can't just say I don't know. This feels like a product of like a bunch of things that should have been I don't know because you don't have to explain everything.
Why did Grandma die? Oh, let me tell you. Let me tell you why Grandma died.
Wait till we get to the obsidian teeth.
There's one where Maui he invented dogs because he got really annoyed at his brother-in-law, and then he just kind of grabs his limbs and stretches them out and he turns the guy into a dog. And then I think his sister was so sad that she kills herself. But that's where dogs come
Wow.
I like how just simplistic that
Wow.
story is.
It's Maui's out fishing with his brother-in-law. He's so annoyed by
Wait,
him that he physically stretches his body into a dog body, and then his sister kills herself.
I
Wait,
think-
wait,
if you
that's
ever
where
So
dogs
do they
come
not
from.
like dogs?
No, I mean that's just explaining where dogs come from.
Wait. So he's a god, but he fishes
I
with
was
his.
just gonna ask the same question.
He just fishes with his brother.
I feel like this guy is able to turn people into dogs, but he still goes fishing.
Where he's
But he's
supposed to get the
patiently
fish
waiting
from.
for
Why did he
fish.
turn into a
Imagine
fish?
you're like a wizard in Harry Potter, but you still play like magic video games.
still drive to work.
Maybe
Yeah.
he just enjoy. Dude, I don't know how the
well, I guess they
logic
do have
works.
trucker simulator.
Oh, shit. It's just your kid is asking you where dogs come from, and you're sick and tired of hearing it. You just start
You're like,
coming up with some shit.
check this out.
And then she killed herself. Are you happy now? Are you happy? That's where
That's
dogs
like
come
I
from.
gave you an answer. Don't ever ask me a stupid question like that again. That's yeah, you know.
Yeah, I don't. That also I don't think was in the movie, but that
should have been.
Yeah, I know. There's so much that is way more interesting than Moana.
That
the
would have
movie.
been an awesome movie.
Is the shiny lobster real? The shiny crab?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But definitely now you know where dogs come from.
Did they
I feel
catch
very
any
educated.
fish?
So
very
the,
informed.
What can I say except you're
there's a
welcome?
magic fish hook
From
in
you.
Moana. It's this giant fish hook that gives Maui his powers. I think in the New Zealand actual myths, it's
Wait, why are you so knowledgeable in all this?
I
Yeah, that's
just-
Al.
I-
Now you have to ask him this question.
well, because I was just like, oh, that's weird that Maui is like a thing in all these cultures. Like, wait, it's all like almost a singular culture, and then it's like, well,
Somehow it tied to dogs.
well, because in the funny thing is in Moana they like reference some of the Maui stories. There's like
Yeah.
a song where
they're
he
like,
said,
we can only
Or
share
you
this
think that was
portion of
Maui
the
just
No, like,
messing
in the
around the
song-
sun, the moon,
Exactly.
the earth, the sun?
those
yeah.
are all real.
Yeah.
He sings about real Maui
Something
legends.
sat on a coconut. Now we have
eels. Yeah.
eels. Yeah,
Yeah.
painted an eel. Now we have coconuts or
Yeah,
something.
Well, so
oh yeah, he caught an eel, stuck it in the ground, and that's why we have coconuts.
there's
around.
like
Checks
there's
out.
It rhymed.
another one
It was a
about where
Disney
eels
song.
come. I'm pretty sure Maui dismembered a guy and then all the different body
yeah,
parts
something-
turned into different eels.
Oh,
They
yeah,
didn't sing
yeah.
about that one though.
something like ripped out its guts, buried them. Now we have coconuts.
Yes,
That's what it
yeah.
is.
I
So,
feel
like-
like this Maui guy. He's
He's
It's
Dwayne
like-
the Rock Johnson.
It's like he's
though.
playing The Sims, and we're all the Sims.
he's just turning people into dogs by stretching out their limbs,
Yeah,
tearing people apart.
I bet he
I
builds
mean-
swimming pools and removes the ladders.
So the fish hook in Moana is this magic fish hook, and in the movie it's given to him by the gods. In the I don't know about the Hawaiian version. I think in the New Zealand myth, it's like his grandma's jawbone. I think that he like pulls out of her
And,
or
like,
something,
Carves it into a.
and turns it into a fish
Into a-
hook.
Why is
Okay.
this guy so brutal to the people around him?
Is this the same grandma with the teeth?
No, that wasn't that
That's
was
not
like
That
a
was
a
life
goddess
goddess.
of-
It was like
yeah.
a goddess
Oh.
of
Why-
life.
why-
And
why-
that's where death comes from, is because she bit Maui
Oh,
in
so
half
you
with her
life
vagina.
Wait,
starts
so
at the
that's how
mouth
he
and
died.
ends
Is
at the teeth in the vagina.
So
And
Maui
that's why we
wasn't.
die. That's why
he,
people die.
He wasn't immortal. So
That's their Adam and
So
Eve.
maybe he was. I guess he wasn't a god. He was just a demigod because the goddess killed him.
I don't really know what the difference is, other than it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I don't know
I
either.
don't know what whatever the Rock is what Maui is.
I just would have figured that because like they all kind of like came from boats and stuff, that it would all be like the same,
But
like thing mythology. But I guess it does change over the island.
how do you sail from New Zealand to Hawaii?
Dude, I have no
I
idea.
feel like a lot of people.
It's like a you know, like in sci-fi movies they
Like,
have
how
like
do you invent
generation
cheese?
ships. It would be like that, but in
cheese
canoes.
is way easier.
A lot of
You
spoiled
don't
milk.
take a canoe over the ocean.
If you gave me the choice to like, all right, you either have to like invent cheese from scratch or
You have to
sail
invent-
from New Zealand to Hawaii.
But you have to
I
invent
would
new
choose
cheese. There's a type of milk product that hasn't been invented yet. You either have to invent it or sail from New Zealand
I
to
would
Hawaii.
still choose the cheese. That seems
Cheese too.
that seems way simpler. And it's like the commonalities is proof
I
that
bet you
it's
Hershey's
like
could
a
make
singular
cheese, too.
culture that was able to sail to all these places.
We went to the boat museum there.
Huh.
I would not.
Wasn't good.
I wouldn't want it. No, it was great. I
Oh,
wouldn't. I wouldn't take the biggest boat that was there and sail even a mile with it. I guarantee bad things happened on those trips.
How many people like didn't come back and they're still like, yeah,
A lot.
There's probably something out there.
It's gotta be where half
we
the
just,
stories come
We just
from.
didn't go far enough. We should go far. We should keep trying.
You think it's just they were on the ocean for so long they just start coming up with the most rancid, fucked up shit they could think of. Where do you think dogs come from?
You're like, when we get back, we should tell them this story.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that would be really, really boring, wouldn't it? Because if you're in the middle of the Pacific, it's gonna be like a month of just not seeing anything.
But you're also probably you're actively trying to not die.
right.
You're hallucinating
like the
from drinking
waves are
seawater.
Where are the waves massive?
The Pacific is supposed to be the nicer one, right?
They either were or they weren't.
Are there currents that like push you to land or no? Is that
well, there's the
anything about
garbage
boats.
I don't know anything
patches.
either, yeah.
I assume the garbage patches are
That's where you
like,
end up in a garbage
yeah, I
patch.
think now it's where the garbage is. It probably used to be where other things ended up other than garbage.
I feel like you naturally wouldn't end up
Like
in
a bunch of
another
empty
island.
canoes.
Yeah.
They
Man.
call it the calm ocean because everybody that survived said, wow, this ocean's really calm.
And the people who died don't get to tell you about how
How
angry the ocean
unforgiving
was.
and horrible the ocean.
It's like the World War II bomber with
Yeah.
bullet holes in it.
Like, oh yeah, that ocean was great.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
problem getting over it whatsoever.
We learned in elementary school there's a book called Island of the Blue Dolphins that are like the Channel Islands off the coast of California, and those are like tens of miles away, and that like people still kind of do it, not really, but like you can totally get back and forth. But that even then still seems like a nightmare, and you can see where you're going.
Dude, I wouldn't even.
Yeah.
I looked up once. There's a jet ski tour you can buy from
I know
like
somebody did that.
to Catalina Island.
Yeah, they said by the time you not to Catalina, but they still go far out, and they said
Okay.
about like a third or halfway into it, they're like,
Yeah, it's like it seems like a really cool idea until you actually do it, and you're like, oh, "Fuck, this is like how many hours is this?" I think
Yeah.
it's like 2 hours to Catalina
Yeah.
Island on
It's
jet
2 hours too many. Because you can't go fast; it just beats the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Like you realize that you have to go slow.
You're just getting splashed with
Yeah.
water. the
Imagine a
wind in your
freeway, but
face
it's
for
all
like-
speed bumps.
Yeah, for 2 hours.
Exactly.
If it was flat, you could go like some of those things can go like 60, 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Or you hit one bump.
It's so bad.
That'd be cool. We should get jet skis for safety third. Nigel, would you come back if we got
Let's
jet
do that. Let's go to
skis?
Catalina Island.
Safety
If we
third
if
I heard
every
it's great.
safety
What if we-
third from now on was on jet skis, would you come back to us?
Yes.
Could you fly here every week? The Thursday morning we
Yeah.
record the podcast.
Give me a
before
private jet
posting it.
though.
Oh.
A private jet.
Oh no.
That's easy.
It's that one. I know how much that one costs.
From Montreal too, it's like one of the furthest. It's international and from one of the furthest destinations.
All I know about private jets is it pretty much costs the same amount of money to go from a private jet that 1 mile as it is 1,000 miles. There's kind of just this barrier to entry that's in the maybe $50,000 range.
Oh god.
You guys can, it's worth it.
We
And once a week.
What if it's we get Peter to fly you
Oh,
in one of his electric planes, and he just has to make pit stops to charge it every
Okay,
so
so
often.
even if it weren't electric,
It's
flying.
gonna take a week to
Alan,
get here.
flying in a Cessna is very much like taking the jet ski to Catalina. You're gonna greatly regret everything.
You know what I wish? I wish that blimps, like big blimps that were like air cruises.
Like the Hindenburg.
Dirigibles.
Yes, the Hindenburg. I
Yeah.
want the Hindenburg. I would. What?
Air
We're gonna have
Titanic.
2 Hindenburgs?
It's probably not gonna happen.
No, the Titanic 2 is fine, right?
Yeah. You could call it Titanic. Titanic 2.
Titanic 3.
Too.
Titanic
What if we just
3.
call it Sky Titanic?
Skytanic.
If you had a blimp and you called it Fire Festival 2, the blimp.
Hydrogen explosion boogaloo. What if we did a hydrogen blimp, but then we also stuck some oxygen in there too?
In a 2-to-1 ratio.
So if it did catch on fire, you wouldn't even know.
That's a good idea.
We've solved this problem. There was some podcast episode where
Do we talk about blimp travel?
I think we talked about blimp travel. I said, why don't they just like you have the blimp and then you have the place where the people are like on a really long structure.
This is
So that's far, far
Oh,
away.
so they're
So
far
that if
away.
the blimp catches on fire, then you can like you won't
Free
you
fall
won't-
to your death.
Yeah.
Well, there could
Instead
be
of
like
burning alive.
there could
Like when
be
it
a
crashes,
parachute,
you'll
like a
hit-
ballistic parachute
Right.
or whatever.
Can you just fill it with helium instead?
That's a lot of helium.
That's wasteful.
Hydrogen's
That's a
more
lot.
efficient.
Yeah,
It is.
We have like a very
Yeah.
limited. So I sometimes
Wait,
get
isn't
anxiety
I
about
heard
the
that
limited
helium is
amount
also-
of helium.
Oh, but we were talking about that
Right.
today. The helium
Then-
limit.
It's scary.
Lifting
No, it's not.
For some, or something.
Wait, what do you? It's not.
Mm-mm.
I
Wait,
thought we
I'm
had
look
a
that
very limited
how, mu-
supply
how,
of helium.
how many more years of helium do you think we have?
30.
So I mean,
That's a very weird way to
inv-
measure volume.
Years of
yeah,
volume.
I haven't verified it, but I looked it up the other
Uh-huh.
day, and I was like, because I was like, I don't want us to run out of helium.
Yeah.
I looked up and said, how much more helium is left, and they go, there is
Well, it's
some
a decay
scientists
product,
fear
right?
there could be as little as 100 years left. I'm like, well, I'm not nervous anymore at all.
But I
Not
mean,
my problem.
I mean, you have 100 years to figure out a new way to make like MRIs work.
I have
like,
100 years. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Sorry, I meant the royal you.
They're
the
actually already.
collective you.
They're actually already like they're producing MRIs that are the helium is cycles, and there's some helium free MRIs.
But I mean, that's still like
They're not
even
as
if it's
good, but-
cycles and it's not as good. Like it's just because the fact
No, but they're made
that
helium free. Like they doesn't use helium as a refrigerant.
it's
Wow,
just
we
that-
skipped over helium 2 and just went straight to helium 3.
Helium free.
It must be so much better.
helium.
Because
Helium
the
free.
fact that like the other use is like you put
I
it
think
in a
there is a
balloon and
helium
you let
free.
it go and it just disappears forever. Like, why do we do that? Why do we still
There
do
is a
that?
Because it's
answer, yeah.
cool.
And
Oh,
the U.S.
God.
just, I mean, recently they sold off all of their stuff, the helium
helium
stocks.
reserve.
To Party City or something. Where?
Spirit Halloween.
But they just
All
found
the
some more. They
helium.
just found some more, so we're good. We're good, Alan. But like I said, they estimate that we have as little as 100 years, so we're good.
that. I mean, yeah, it's a lot.
Do you think we
but
won't
it's
find
also not-
a replacement in 100 years?
that's like literally like someone's great grandchildren or they're gonna get fucked over.
They can't get MRIs.
Yeah, a lot of things they're not gonna be able to
I
do.
hope the ozone's gone too.
No, we solved that pretty quick because it didn't get like weirdly political like with global warming. Like the hole in the ozone layer actually like was fine after a few decades because nobody opposed you would have to be really no one was like
Dude, the flat earth is healing.
because like we're up against like the oil industry for global warming. For the ozone layer, it was just like Freon or whatever. It's like there's not like a giant refrigerant industry like keeping
Yeah.
it down. They
Yeah.
couldn't do
Big
anything.
Freon.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, no, that got patched up pretty quick. Everyone just agreed, like, yeah, let's stop doing that.
What was the accord that was signed? Do you know the name of it?
Honda?
The Montreal
No.
Accord.
Yeah.
Protocol.
I got
Montreal-
that
the-
one. That was a
the-
good
how do
one.
you
I
know
got
that?
one.
I don't know.
It's called the. I think if that's the one, it's the Montreal Protocol.
Oh.
Signed in Montreal.
Why did they choose? Did you guys get a particularly high dose of UV from the?
It's the
ozone
one that
hole?
banned CFCs. I think
It was
that's
too
the one.
hot where the hole
I
was.
literally
so they all
don't
traveled
know.
somewhere else for a
I
cooler
just-
summer.
I just know there's a solvent that I use in one of the videos that's hard to get. Carbon tetrachloride.
because
Mm.
it opens up.
It's
the
it's
ozone.
it's just a potent.
It
CFC.
acts as the fucking goat's
think.
hands in the ozone hole.
Yeah.
So do you know where helium comes from?
the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
it's
it out
like
of the Earth's
natural
crust.
gas.
It's,
Like, it's
it's
an oil
a,
reserve,
is it
right?
radioactive decay? No, I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Is, yeah.
So
Oh, shit.
technically, there should be like a lot of it because it decays from uranium and thorium, which
Yeah,
have
but
really long
the
half-lives.
The half-life is
Where does it
2
collect,
billion
though?
years.
I guess it does collect in like the oil or whatever.
Yeah. So think of how much helium has existed. If that's all we have is the stuff that got caught in a.
Yeah, so there's a lot of it. We're just not good at capturing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just
And the
need to-
problem is it just goes away.
Skill issue.
Yeah,
we should
yes.
just
It
capture
leaves
I think
the
this-
atmosphere.
Didn't they say there's a lot like on the moon or something? That's the
Is
next
there?
target.
Oh,
How is
God,
it
I
on the
hope so.
moon if there's no atmosphere on the moon?
I think
even?
it's
like
trapped
pop
in
rocks.
ice.
Still
or
in
something.
rocks or
this
something?
This could be. I'm just making this up.
No, this is,
Who's gonna prove you wrong?
yeah, this is
I
bad.
was just at the moon
Look it
last
up.
week.
I mean,
Kevin, helium-3.
I always
Look
hear
it
that.
up.
Oh,
Look it
and
up.
Maui
oh,
ate
we're
some
in a
bad
sci-fi
prosciutto
movie. We're
and
mining
diarrhea
helium-3 on the moon for our
helium all
spaceship.
over the moon, and
Type-
that's why
type-
there's helium
I'm looking
on
up
the
something
moon
else right
now.
now.
Type in
Hydrogen.
Flying over the neighbor's dog going
moon,
70 miles an
Okay.
hour through the
and you're
neighborhood.
probably gonna get nothing.
And
Okay,
that's where
so
helium
there's
comes
hydrogen and helium. They're both like
so
buoyant.
high
They're
that
both lighter
helium
than air.
atoms were-
How much
were
lighter
ripped
do you think
apart and
hydrogen
helium
is?
was formed.
I think
Look,
that-
the
I mean,
moon
that
has been
literally
bombarded with
makes
large
as much
quantities of
sense as any
helium-3.
the other
By
ones.
solar wind. Interesting. So it's just like
But the good
the
news is-
sun puts it there.
So
No
look,
one-
helium-3. I wasn't making
No,
this up.
Nigel,
I
no
know
one
the
can
helium,
prove you
yeah.
wrong because no one's ever been to the moon.
That's true. Yeah, there is a lot of
I feel
helium
like
on
we
the
should
moon.
just
I
go
wasn't
full
making
fringe.
everything
Just
up.
embrace.
God.
I know, because they're always mining helium-3 and all the
It's like
sci-fi
a new
movies.
way to explore the world.
If,
through
I
Wait,
feel
so no.
like there's
Hydrogen
so much the math
and
for
helium.
so many
How
things
much
that's so much more
more
complicated
buoyant
if the Earth is
do you think
flat.
the
Like trying to
hydrogen is?
figure out like orbits.
well, yeah, flat
twice.
earthers don't like doing math. They're not thinking
Easily
about it.
like observable
8%,
phenomena in the
8% better.
sky. The math to make it make sense for the Earth being flat
That's what
gets
Google says.
way harder.
Right. How many flat earthers are
Oh,
doing
because
that
that's stupid. I
math?
was just basing it on the molar mass. But the densities, you have to look at on the gas
The problem is
density.
if you're-
Yeah, because
you're too
but why
stupid
are some gases like
to-
less dense
if you're too
than the others?
stupid
Because they just
to
want to be
not
further
believe in
apart.
it
yeah, I
around
think
Earth.
like
That's more
You're
of like
definitely
a,
too stupid to understand
hydrogen
how
might-
the math would prove
hydrogen
that
might
the
be
Earth is round.
half
Right.
as heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
You're both having
That's like a thing that we do.
Yeah, that's why people listen.
Hydrogen's half as heavy, but maybe they're closer together.
yeah.
But there shouldn't be. I don't know because
Yeah,
of
that's
the
Pretty-
gas
yeah,
laws, right?
I
typical
know.
length.
Okay, so if we
Fake
did
news.
hydrogen blimp, and you were
Helium
gonna,
so
three
is helium-3
Helium-3 blimp.
lighter than
helium-3 is lighter.
No, helium-3 is heavier. Must be.
no helium-4 is the normal one.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't
I thought
it?
helium. No.
No, is it helium-2?
Yeah, I thought that's what, right? Yeah. No.
God, we should really have like someone with a chemistry or biology background on the podcast someday to answer
I have
these
a question.
questions.
Would a
Maybe
blimp
helium. Yeah,
held
helium
open
4
with
is normal,
aerogel?
right?
Okay.
No.
Fuck.
It's a
There's-
stable
it's not-
isotope making up about
I don't think aerogel has like the structural
99.99886%.
properties to,
Okay,
like,
so that
No,
is the
because that's
normal
because
one.
the
Yeah,
the
I
proton numbers
think,
too.
I don't think you could do that.
Not proton number, like the
like
atomic
like the
numbers
whole
too.
like
Yeah.
vacuum
But
blimp thing.
because of
you
that,
need
you
a
have,
material that just doesn't make any sense. I
like
think,
2
for it to
protons,
work.
2 neutrons. So that's why it's helium 4.
Yeah, but
Because
normally they just go by neutrons,
the
right?
crushing pressure of the atmosphere is a
No.
Or
lot.
by protons
and
when they have
to
an
do
isotope.
to hold that and be light enough to actually
Like
have
U-256.
buoyancy, I don't
No,
think
that is everything
material
added
could happen.
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like some sci-fi.
But the
stuff,
atomic
I
number
think.
is just
you need
like,
like
how
a
many
force
protons it has.
Like if you could if
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
maintain a vacuum with like a force field that like was massless, then I think you could do it.
I think that a lot of the best ideas don't exist because they're impossible.
Wait, what's your idea? What's your idea?
I mean, it's a fringe theory. Don't throw me under the bus for this. Imagine you have a thing of aerogel shaped like a football, and you wrap a skin around it, and then pump the air out.
Is a vacuum blimp. So the idea is that you have the most
Yeah,
buoyancy possible, theoretically possible,
is-
because you have a vessel with nothing.
This is
inside
a
of it.
dream of my dad's because it's like
You can't do
No,
it.
the problem with aerogel is that the silica or the silicon is still heavy,
Uh-huh.
but that's why carbon is better. If you get like a graphene aerogel, they're way lighter.
Does it still like have like the compressive strength though to withstand like a vacuum pressing on?
Was it 14
I
PSI?
don't believe
Yeah,
so.
it's like that 14.7 right is
It would be
atmosphere.
less up higher too, right?
I feel like the
Yeah.
aerogel would have a better chance. I feel like a lot of the carbon aerogels are like squishy.
Right.
That would just keep going forever, wouldn't it?
No.
It would reach
hit
like
the
a
ed-
buoyancy.
You'd hit the edge of the atmosphere, and then because it's a vacuum and it does have mass.
But actually, no,
Would it expand? It wouldn't expand.
you could do a
no, it
partial
wouldn't
vacuum.
expand. But like you only get
You would-
buoyancy
you would
as
hit
long
like a
as you've
zero.
got
You'd
that,
hit like
the
an
amount of
equilibrium.
displacement of mass that you
But-
have. So you
Right,
wouldn't go
right,
up
right.
into space.
It's so light, the carbon aerogels, that you could probably pull a partial vacuum and you'll get like almost neutral buoyancy. Dude, they're like, I think the one I wanted to make is like 13 milligrams a milliliter.
I think
It's like-
it's
No,
like,
that's
it gets crushed.
You mean
I
per
think it gets
liter?
No,
crushed.
sorry. It can go to point. I think it's point. It's less than 1 milligram a milliliter.
Less than one. Oh, okay, so like 1/1000th. Of
So it'd
the
be
mass
like
of
less
water,
than
the
a
density
gram
of
a
water.
liter. Like half a gram a liter. That's just nothing.
I don't think you could. If you put a skin around, I don't think you could make it neutrally buoyant.
You could get so close that you could probably like.
Oh, like
put little
like
propellers.
feel
I
a
don't know.
little.
I don't know. I'm making this all up.
That's tough. Because then, like
Someone's for sure thought about this. This
what
isn't
is
like
the
a novel
'cause
idea.
Then what is like the skin made? Is just like mylar or
that's
something?
where
Like-
that's where you
did
lose everything.
aerogel, aerogel. We
Nanotubes.
spray it with rhino liner, truck bed liner. We pump all the air out.
No, but what Alan's saying is that's where you lose everything. Like, hey, we have this thing that's super light. To pull a vacuum, we'll surround it with like metal. And you've lost everything.
That's the next guy's problem. You've already figured out the silica gel,
And then you
aerogel.
realize it's completely pointless. If you surround it with like something that has structure, you don't even need the inside. You just don't even need the gel part.
Well, the idea is that like the gel would somehow provide enough compressive strength that the skin could be like a very thin material. But like even then though, like the skin is going to have to withstand because the surface I assume is like porous, right? It's like what's stopping the skin from just getting drawn into like the pores and getting ripped or torn that way.
It's probably just like microporous. Like it looks like solid when you look at it. You can make like
if you push your
closed
thumb into the
cell.
aerogel, what happens?
It just kind of crumbles.
Like really easily?
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, it's like very fragile.
I think that's
What happens if you
what
eat
run
it?
into.
What does it taste like? Probably the chalkiest. Like imagine eating chalk.
Like
but
fucking Hershey's tastes like a Kit Kat. an
It's like
American
it's
Kit
basically
Kat.
silicon dioxide. So it's just like
Sand.
sand.
You should eat some.
But it's also the dust is probably horrendous for you to breathe in.
Yeah, don't breathe it. Just eat it.
Yeah, but sometimes the dust moves around.
What does the dust smell like?
Breathe out.
Like, man.
Don't eat it like you eat chicken wings.
Look,
Does
What
it
if you do an
absorb
episode
sauce?
of Hot
Does it
Ones, but instead of wings, they're eating
it's
aerogel?
aerogel. Does it absorb sauce really good?
I'm Nigel. Welcome.
Whoa.
maybe.
What
Can you
happens if
send? Do you have any?
Does
Actually,
it,
we want to make a whole series where we turn everything into aerogel, like Aero chicken, Aero.
does it fall apart if it gets wet? No.
Yeah,
Oh, it does?
it'll start to expand
Oh.
because it's
So it holds
It gets
sauce
it
well.
gets soggy.
because it's
It goes
what is it
stale.
again? It's like it isn't silicon dioxide. It's silica. How am I forgetting? But it's like when you put water on it, it becomes silicon dioxide.
When you put water
Sodium
on it, yeah,
metasilicate.
It's so bad. I've been doing it. It's been so
But
long.
it's not
going to
hold more
Sodium
sauce than
hydrosilicate
just
or
like the
something?
equivalent volume of sauce, right?
No,
Like,
yeah.
No, but it would be like sauce, but there's no calories on the French fry. It's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
It's like just like you put this thing in your mouth and it ends up just being the sauce.
Scientific sauce delivery vector. That's
Wait,
all
so
it is.
where do you store it then? So you have to store it in a.
Just somewhere.
In your
dry.
mouth.
Yeah, like I put it in a clasp, like closed case, and it's just in
And
a.
it doesn't like it's not absorbing moisture.
Not really, but if you touch it, it'll leave. You'll see your fingerprints as white marks on it.
Oh. Huh. So that really does like just come apart.
Yeah, and in a moist like environment, it'll just kind of I think
God,
expand.
people
and
were so
it'll turn
excited
to, like, a white
about
powder.
aerogel, but it kind of just sucks, huh?
It just sort of sucks. More like
Wow.
shitty gel.
Yeah, exactly.
Boo.
I mean, yeah. No, it's cool. I like. I'm gonna make graphene aerogel soon.
that's the one that'll
That's
give you like
cool.
giga problems, right?
You
I
breathe
don't know.
it.
It's
Yeah.
very maybe.
Carbon nanotube.
I'm making carbon nanotubes as well.
That's like
are you-
asbestos, right?
Yeah.
What? I told you, Kevin, I'm working on 24 projects.
I thought you were joking. Holy
No, he literally
crap.
goes on Alibaba, finds a cool thing, and then builds a video around it.
You're
Hell yeah.
working on 24
How are you-
projects?
Yeah.
Me too.
Are you planning
One of them
on,
is eating. One of them is.
is this something that you're planning on publishing like over the next 2 years?
I realized I had to stop starting new projects because I will never finish what I've started.
because some of the videos you like the bulletproof wood, you were working on that for like 5 years, weren't you?
No, it was like 2.
Remember when he
That's
told us? He's
still-
like, I only have a limited amount of ideas, and when I run out of them, I'm going to stop making videos.
So do you know, like I've said, like the graphene aerogel. I bought everything I needed for it 3 years ago. I just haven't made it.
You sound like me. You just buy shit.
Yeah, this is just like a normal thing that people do.
I do it to
But-
prep, and then I just like
No,
but
I mean,
actually,
like-
I fixed all the
Like
problems.
I've had projects that I started 3 years ago, and I'm never gonna finish.
No,
but
no,
don't
I,
think I'm
I'm planning to. I'm like getting.
Yeah, so am I. So
no,
am I.
no,
My second channel video was all
I
about
just bought something I need,
I didn't
and
give up
then I
on
can
it. I just
actually
haven't
film
touched it
it.
in 3 years.
Wait, how do you make carbon nanotubes? Is it like a whole machine?
One thing I'm doing is like the thing where it's like you have a tube, you heat it, you put acetylene, a
Okay.
mixture of acetylene, argon, and
Oxygen?
hot. And,
Yeah.
no, it's helium,
And a heating
acetylene,
Like hydrogen and
helium and
oxygen,
acetylene.
2-to-1 ratio,
and you
a
grow
heating
it.
element.
You grow it on
You have to
a silicon wafer with a catalyst,
Okay.
and that will make like multi-wall carbon nanotubes.
Like on the inside.
Are those like the
of
ones where the guy's like peeling it off with tweezers? Like,
You can pull it off on tweezers and it like floats.
yeah,
away.
okay, that's
Yeah,
the
that's
one.
what I
Oh,
want to
that's
make.
sick.
yeah.
That's
So
a
what
cool
do they
one.
do with that? They have to like wind.
You can
it.
you can spin it into fibers, so I can like make threads, like nanotube threads.
and then what? Make it into guitar strings or whatever.
I have no idea. I saw a video where he tried to cut it with an axe and it was like wouldn't cut, which is
What?
kind of cool. I guess
That's cool. Wait, make Spider-Man web shooters.
Yeah.
carbon nanotubes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's see if you can like suspend yourself with.
I just
like, a
paid for that
single
machine 2 days
strand.
ago.
How many videos did you make in the last year?
Total for the red, I think
In the last 12 months, yeah. 3?
3.
So you're saying you have 8
I wanna
years
post-
worth of ideas that you're working
No,
on.
I'm gonna post. The goal this year is to post 8 red videos. We'll see if that happens.
Jesus. So 3 years worth of ideas.
Yeah,
that
You're
that's why I
already
said I'm
like
quitting.
a quarter
Oh my
through
I said I'm
God.
quit. I can't make new ideas because I will realistically never finish the ones I've already started.
William,
She supports me.
Don't jump.
What?
You just look like you're about to jump off a bridge.
No, I'm just thinking about things.
It didn't look
What?
A bridge.
I can see you just
8.
No, we have a
3
lot of
years worth
ideas, and the blues as well. We have a bunch of stuff.
I
I just have to actually do them.
It's crazy how
I spent the whole last year planning everything. That's all I did.
the number sounds so small, 24 ideas, and you're talking about years of like your next several years of life.
I didn't realize it was going to be that because what I did was this is a class. You guys,
And that's if you actually do 8 a year. You realize that's if you actually do 8 a year. Which
you're right. I might do 10.
cut it here. I'm gonna do 10.
You're gonna do
All right.
10 rolls of sushi.
Thank
Let's
you guys
go.
for listening to the Safety Third podcast. Very special episode has been with NileRed. He'll be on next week too. He's just gonna fly
every week. Yes,
Uh,
I was never gone.
he's never gone.
I've actually been in the background or just around. The whole
we've been
time.
saying
Yeah.
that your body was in one of the garbage bags back there.
Yeah, you should just
It was
crawl
true.
back there at the end of this.
That should have been my entrance for this. I'm just like, just
finally.
I can finally.
Oh, wait,
come-
wait, we can still do that. We can still do that.
I couldn't get out.
We can still do that.
Oh yeah, just do like
Technically.
a
What, do a fake start?
yeah.
That's not genuine.
We can all like lift him up, put him in the chair, and then unwrap him.
I think I like that idea. I think the idea of talking about it is just as fun.
I want to see if we can fit Nigel in a trash bag.
I think we're gonna get murdered if we stay here a second longer. All right. Thanks everyone. Support us on Patreon. Extra content. We cooked an ostrich egg 3 different ways. You
Yeah,
can see that now.
we ate it.
It's
Yeah,
good.
It was actually, it was pretty good.
Did it have one big yolk or many yolks?
Nigel will never stop.
The way we got it out, I don't really know.
Yeah, we got it out in a really icky way.
Sexy way.
yeah.
Alan was really good at getting it out.
Baby Victoria.
Rest in peace.
See you guys next week.